games, all the goals, all the news.
This is Open All Mics from Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. That was a busy first hour this afternoon. Tom English, Leanne gave us the build-up earlier on in terms of what she's looking forward to this afternoon. Lots of interesting games today.
Yeah, there are, in a number of divisions, actually. Interesting to hear from Duncan Ferguson there about the state of Inverness.
Frank.
I just don't, I know Chick is calling out for Frank, the producer there, but I'll carry on.
You wouldn't think it's a live show, would you?
No, you wouldn't.
I wonder what help he needs. We're probably better not knowing.
To be fair, Alan, Chick is a bit of a novice at this game. He doesn't know how it works.
It'll be a comfort break.
Yeah.
An early comfort break.
But it's you know, that whole Inverness story. How a club like Inverness could lose £1.7 million in their last account is beyond me. That's a mess. Anyway, other games beyond that. Dundee Killy. I think that's a fascinating one. Both clubs desperate for a victory. But look, they all have something. All of them always have a bit of intrigue to them. The Hibs versus Motherwell are good side, good manager, good side. Hibs beginning to show a little bit of something. Can they keep that going? No, it should be another fascinating day, Kenny. Hopefully, there's plenty of incident.
Well, there was plenty last weekend, no doubt at all about that, particularly in terms of VAR, some really contentious calls across Scottish football last Saturday afternoon. Just looking at the pictures coming into the studio now, the game's just getting underway. Alan Preston, the guys in here are both looking forward to your game there at Dens Park. You're surely expecting goals.
I am, yes. I think it was Rory was here last year and it was 3-3 goal late on. Just as Kilmarnock kick off, I'm hoping that this is a cracker. Absolute goals galore here, hopefully, at Dens today. Lovely day for football, it's got to be said. Into October, pitch is in great condition. No wind at all. No excuses from the players. We're off.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Billy Dodds, I can see you're underway in Paisley. What are you expecting? Oh, right, tell us.
Yeah, right away. It's just a free kick comes in. Posseman eludes everybody. It falls to, I think it was Richard Taylor. He tried to overhead kick it, went back to Marcus Fraser and he blasted it across goal. And then Taylor, it fell to him again and he flicked it up and he had a go again and he hit it over the crossbar. So an early chance for St Mirren.
There was a lunchtime kick-off in England today. It finished Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. All the 3 o'clock kick-offs down there just getting underway. It's come up that Brentford have scored early on at home to Wolves after just 3 minutes. I'll give you confirmation of that goal. Nathan Collins with a goal after 2 minutes. Brentford 1, Wolves 0. Let's go to Falkirk against Ayr United. Amy Canavan is there for us this afternoon, Amy. This should be, as I was saying earlier on, a fantastic game. Two sides that really like to attack.
I certainly like to think so, Kenny. We're just underway, a few minutes behind. I don't know the last game I was at that actually kicked off at 3 o'clock. It's becoming a bit of a bugbear, and I'm always here until after 5 o'clock as well. But no, they're both playing some really nice stuff. As I say, there was that obviously disappointing run. Came to an end last week for Falkirk, 43 games. It's just absolutely remarkable, and I think it's funny speaking to some of the players as I was coming in there, because there was that general disappointment, because as much as it's not the be all and end all, it's very much just still, you know, taking that as a side note. It was something they were incredibly proud of, and I don't think they actually sort of thought that they lost the game last week. It was more actually the fact that this run has came to an end. But it would be a cracking way to get a run back going again today, getting a result against league leaders.
Really tough, Leanne, to call the winner in the championship, isn't it? It's so tight.
Oh, check your back. You okay?
Well, there was. I think Frank was the only person in Scotland that never heard me, to be honest with you. But we have a problem here at Airdrie. There's been a medical emergency behind the goal. Now, the players were rattling shots in the warm-up, and I saw a couple of shots just missing a couple of fans towards the back of the stand. I looked away, and I'm not very sure what happened, to be honest with Kenny, so I'm not going to speculate with someone's health, but they have taken someone away on a stretcher, and the kick-off will be held up here, obviously. I think a lot of concern from the Airdrie people who have been over there and rushing into the stand, and as I said, someone has been taken away in a stretcher. There is no sign of the teams coming out, so there will be a major delay in the kick-off here in Airdrie against Dunfermline. Of course, I'll keep you up to speed as this unfolds, but there's a lot of concern for the person who's been stretchered away.
Yeah, that sounds a dreadful situation there. Chick will find out what's happening. Hopefully we can bring some good news to you later in the programme. Down in England, West Ham United 1, Ipswich Town 0. Mikel Antonio with a goal there. Antonio with a goal there after the first minute. Let's then get...
Kenny, just quickly, we're talking about a time-out announcement, just saying it'll be 10 minutes at least before this game kicks off. OK, Chick, keep us informed with that one. Let's hope everyone is OK down there at the game there that Chick is watching, Airdrie against Dunfermline. Let's then get to Easter Road, Hibs at home to Motherwell, and hear from Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, Ken, as you expect in a game of this magnitude, both sides trying to feel each other out when they get a little bit of possession and knocking it around. There's nothing really potent at either end. It was a good run down the left-hand side. Young Ewan Wilson had intercepted the ball off Lewis Miller. He put a cross into the back post. There was an attempt at a target from Stamatopoulos, but it went into the arms of Bursik. So it seems a type of game for me that the first goal will really open it up. If Motherwell happen to get it, the crowd here will turn a little bit restless, and Motherwell may then be in the ascendancy in the game. Whereas if they get it and this crowd get behind them, there'll be a real test of Motherwell to see how they can bounce back and see their resolve. But as it is at the minute, 0-0 on both sides, comfortable in possession, but nothing really at the top end of the pitch.
Wolves have equalised right away at Brentford. Cunha with the goal there on 4 minutes. Let's get to Firhill. Partick Thistle against Livingston. Here, what's happening in the early stages from Gully Singh.
Yes, Kenny, it's all Partick Thistle at the moment there. They've just got a corner, but Livingston haven't managed to get up the other end of the park so far, but no clear-cut chances. But Thistle just about to take this corner. I think they're just sweeping it in here. It's just been put out of play just now. But yes, currently 0-0 here at Firhill.
Do you think they could be dark horses, Livingston, Leanne, sitting joint second in the table right now?
Quite possibly, yeah. I wouldn't rule them out, that's for sure. The way the Championship's been in recent seasons, I think just the side that Livingston are, they've got the capabilities to just dig results out when they absolutely need them most. I think they're a side that in the Premiership, probably in the last 18 months before relegation, lost their identity in being that side that was robust and defensively well organised. That was the kind of traits that they started to lose, hence the relegation. But I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to nail that down again at that level and carry a goal threat. Anything's possible. So no, they'll be there. I don't see them being below the bottom half of the table, that's for sure. It's just whether they can keep that kind of run going and that momentum towards the end of the season. But certainly a long way to go, but the signs have looked positive.
Stephen, there's been an awful lot of chat about Lennon Miller on this programme. You'll know him well, you'll have heard plenty about him. We heard a really funny clip there from a few weeks ago when Stephen McGinn was in saying that Paul had said he was actually the best player he played alongside, given that he'd also played alongside John McGinn. But just talk to Stephen about the potential you see in Lennon Miller.
Well, I think what we all have to take into consideration that he made his debut at 16 and he's just turned 18 years of age. There's a lot of hype around him. I'm sure his family and him would like to just get on with his football, but when you have the ability that he has, and you talk about vision, you talk about awareness, your space awareness, how you scan around the game, your touch, your passing range, I think the one thing, or probably a couple of things that it probably will need to add as he moves on, is his running power, maybe his physical presence, but he's only 18 years of age. When you look at even the Champions League games, Europa League games, conference games during the week, the midfield players are strong, they're powerful, so that will probably need to be added to his game. And goals was another one. And as much as he's got a few goals recently, he's only got one goal from open play. They've been from penalty kicks, which is good for his CV because someone looks and sees that he's scoring goals. So there are little aspects that they always look to add. But the fact that he's Motherwell's probably the most important player at 18 years of age, Kenny, tells you already what level he will go. I mean, what level will he go to? I don't know. I worked with David Turnbull, and a lot of people try and compare the two of those. I think they're slightly different. David played higher up the pitch, was a bit more creative at the top end of the pitch, scored goals from distance, could score left foot, right foot headers. David could score a lot. Whereas Lennon, I think, and he's playing a little bit deeper today, I've said to you before, he's better behind the ball for me when he can see it and he can take the ball off centre halves and he can spread the ball wide and he can look for those little passes from deeper to try and start Motherwell attack. So I wouldn't want to put a level on where he can go to, but I enjoy watching him play, and he will at some stage leave Motherwell where he goes. I would love to see him go abroad. When you look at the young players who have thrived going abroad, I'd love to see him go abroad and test himself because he's got wonderful ability.
Kenny, I've said this to Stephen and on there, that Lennon Miller shouldn't be in a rush to leave.
Right.
Do not, and this may sound strange from a licensed agent, but don't be in a rush to leave to go to an English club to be a bit part player when you're the main man at Motherwell. It'll come for him. He just needs to take his time and he'll get a move.
But the money's so tempting, Alan, isn't it? The facilities, everything's there,
but
isn't
equally,
it?
I get totally 100%. I get that, but don't be in a rush when you're enjoying life. You're at a club that's looking after you well. You're playing every week. You know, he will get a move. Ultimately, he will get a move.
He doesn't appear to be in a rush though, Biscuits. Do you not think he seems okay with the situation?
Well, that's good. I mean, I don't know him, Leanne. That's what I'm saying though. But too many times we get kids that are just walking out the door and walking away down to England, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and they're lost in the system.
It's good that his dad was an ex-footballer as well.
Oh, we have the first goal. Fantastic from Falkirk. That run is well and truly out of the back of the mind now. Ethan Ross, what a start he's had down this near left-hand side, and it's fantastic from Gary Oliver actually on his 100th game for Falkirk. Robs Ayr United in the middle of the park, feeds Ethan Ross through, and he just absolutely sends it through the near post of Liam Russell. No chance at all. What a great start from Falkirk, 1-0 here against Ayr United.
Yeah, Amy promised goals, and the game has delivered very early on. John McGlynn's side flying in the Championship this season, you'd have to say, as are Ayr United, but that's a fantastic league once again, and two managers, Tom, doing a really good job.
Really good. I wasn't going to talk to that, but you know, what I was going to say was that Lennon Miller should just go to Napoli like every other Scottish midfielder. Biscuits.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at that.
I see watching them on Sunday, Tom. Don't worry about that. They're settling in really well, both lads.
Scott McTominay scored again.
25 seconds against Como yesterday.
Against Como, 3-1. Billy comes off the bench. How is Billy Gilmore settling in there, Alan?
Loves it. Roasting hot, lovely weather. What more's not to like? It's lovely.
Well, it was interesting here, Alan.
There are two guys that have waited their time out. Maybe that's been good people giving them a bit of information, what to do and what not to do. But it's good that Lee Miller's his dad, and Lee was a good player himself and really good player at that. And you know, he's going to have a bit of experience to say, look, I'll tell you when the time's right, son. But sometimes, you say, Kenny, money dictates and you have to go. But I would like to see him stay a bit longer as well, learn his trade.
Alan, with your agent's hat on, how many clubs do you think are around Europe now are aware of Lennon Miller?
There'll be a few, certainly, because of algorithms and data and everything else. There'll certainly be a few that'll be looking at him. Yeah, and you know what it's like in Italy when you look at the lads that have gone there, and Hickey, Lewis Ferguson, Josh Doig, all these lads have all settled in. Shea Adams as well now. Scottish players are the flavour of the month, especially in Italy, and long may it continue, because it's great. It really is. It's fabulous for them.
It's a good strike rate for Scottish
Kenny,
players, isn't
it?
In Italy.
This game has started, Kenny.
Right, check, and you'll get some information to us as soon as you can on the supporter that was injured or taken ill at that game there. So Chick will bring us all the news from that one. Let's get to the game we're covering in League One today. Arbroath are home to Inverness Cally Thistle. Martin was giving us the latest there. Gilles has got in touch on X saying that there are no millionaire footballers who can help Inverness Cally Thistle. We know there's been a crowdfunder set up there. Martin gave us some details of some of the donations. I saw that last night, actually, a donation of £20,000. A lot of speculation as to who that could have been from. What's happening on the park there, Martin?
Yeah, it's still 0-0, Kenny. Very good game. A big early penalty shout for Inverness. Charlie Riley surged into the box, went down under Keith Watson's challenge. Referee Craig Napier thought long and hard about it, but said no when it looked as though there had been a little bit of contact. Louis Longstaff then sent in a brilliant cross. Paul Allen rose to header from close range, angled it towards the corner, but Aidan McAdams pulled off an excellent stop to keep it level. Really bright start from Inverness. Arbroath struggling a little bit to get up the park, but it's Inverness looking quite confident and relaxed given what's going on off the park. That's quite something.
It certainly is. Some goals going in. Ipswich Town have equalised away at West Ham United. Liam Delap on 6 minutes, one apiece there, and a goal coming in Scotland. Edinburgh City 0, Stranraer 1. Mark Russell in 10 minutes. Confirmation of Ethan Ross opener for Falkirk at home to Ayr United, and Elgin City are 1-0 up away at Peterhead. What's happening through at Easter Road, Stephen?
Well, Hibs have probably gained the upper hand, Kenny, in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Junior Hoylett has went wandering off that left-hand side. He found himself out here wide in the right, and he's got that sleight of movement where he just drifts past players and makes it look so easy. I mean, he's 34 years of age, but he still has that little dip of the shoulder. Probably doesn't have the pace that he once had, so I think he's going to be a key player for Hibs this afternoon and moving forward. And Chris Cadden has fired a couple of lovely balls into the box down this right-hand side. So for all the plugging and pushing that Hibs are doing, they haven't managed to create a real clear-cut opportunity, but I think they're starting to stamp their authority on the game. That back five of Motherwell, they are rigid-looking. Stephen O'Donnell wide in the right, Ewan Wilson, who I'd said in the pre-match is looking really good for a young man who was playing at Beath Juniors in the tail end of last season. Suddenly now he's playing in the Scottish Premiership. The back three, I think Dan Casey will be a miss. Kobe Bammer started well, so there's two teams knocking their heads against each other and just looking for that little breakthrough.
Any early chances at Dens Park, Alan Preston?
Nothing really. Ourselves had a shot that was blazed over the top of the bar. Simon Murray had half a shout for a penalty, never given. Went out for a corner. It's been very, very cagey here so far, although Dundee have now got a free kick about 40 yards out. Cameron is over the ball, but it's been very, very tight. Two very evenly matched sides here at Dens. 0-0.
Right, let's again get to the game in Paisley. St Mirren home to Dundee United. What's happening there, Billy?
Very similar to what Alan just said, two evenly matched sides. Both had their spell so much in the first 14 minutes. The closest will come was a Taylor overhead kick that was over the crossbar, and then Will Ferry down the left hand side had a few crosses in the box, no takers, and then United have just had their first opportunity to go. It was a Will Ferry strike that was well over the crossbar, but nothing much doing. It's a hard fought game, Kenny.
Billy, let me put this to you first, then the rest of the pundits can jump in. I'm kind of loath to mention the name of Derek Adams here, but when we're speaking about European football, let's take away the comments about 100 times better and all that stuff, right? But if we look at the basics of his point was that Scottish football is not as good as we think it is. Do you think we're seeing that play out in terms of our European performances?
Certain games, you should have asked that question after Celtic won their first European game and Rangers won their first as well.
Yeah, both were excellent.
You know, it's different. You've timed it well, but I said that when he was here, Derek sometimes gets himself into trouble. He still does. I saw he was on the stand the other night there against, I think it was Charlie Adams' team.
That's right, Morecambe against Fleetwood.
Yeah, Fleetwood. And I'm thinking, just sometimes think before you speak, because there was that game last year when he had no substance, when he come out with when he come out with that statement you're talking about how poor Scottish football is, but he won the game before against St Mirren for Ross County.
But does he have a point?
No, I don't think he does, no. I don't really listen to what Derek Adams says, to be quite honest.
All right, that's interesting. We'll get back to that, I think. Tom?
I think it's a poor league. I said it last season, I'll say it again. I think the standard is poor. It's exciting. There's loads of stories. I love it. But if you were to strip away all of that stuff and you're just judging on the football, I think the standard is poor.
Although some of the football Celtic have been playing right now, a couple of the goals last weekend were absolutely sensational there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Look, I think a lot of leagues can be like that if you strip everything back, take away the glitz and glamour of the Premier League.
No,
down south,
there was an appeal for a penalty. Triandis broke into the Motherwell box. He knocked the ball ahead of himself. I thought Matthew McDermott was going to give a penalty, but he's actually booked him for diving. So Leanne
like
and Tom will get a better look.
Yeah, it looked like it initially. Hopefully get a better angle, a closer replay certainly to see if there's any contact. He looks furious with the decision. He's pushing players away.
His Motherwell causing their own problems. Kofi Bammer played a straight ball into midfield. Andy Halliday got it nicked off him, and suddenly within 2 or 3 seconds Triandis is driving into the box.
Now Kenny's
I'm closest to the screen out of the three of us.
Is there a slight touch on his left foot?
That's the thing, Stephen. It looks like a dive, Stephen. You're right. It looks like a dive. But here we go now. Might get a slightly better. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say.
We'll get a video sent to us of that, so we'll come with a definitive. But obviously,
plays waved on.
Plays waved on, right? Okay, they've been
Matthew
quick with
McDermott
that.
and VAR have decided no penalty and a yellow card for Triandis.
Stephen, your thoughts on the standard of Scottish football?
Tom, we spoke about this probably one of the first evening programmes at the start of the season, and I said it was Rory Loy. I think Rory was trying to argue the case for it. Like, I think you'd said really, really poor, but Rory said, well, it's not really, really poor. I mean, it's not great, but ultimately, I'm with you, because I think there's so much fear of dropping out of this division for so many clubs. A lot of teams are playing similar formations or some sort of style of 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. I mean, we're talking about it, we've got 3 games that are evenly matched and there's nothing between any of them. There's lacking a little bit of quality at times. Each team's got a player who you think on his day can make something happen, but I think if you look back even to 15, 20 years ago, and I hate going back to when we all played, but we had wingers and things were more creative, there was more opportunities and goals. Maybe that's wrong, but that's what it felt like in the games. I think it's rigid and it's not stale, but similar players of similar calibre lacking a little bit of spark. You get someone like Danny Armstrong, who's okay, and Junior Hoylett, for example, who produce things, but I just think it's knocking our heads together sometimes.
You've got a valid point, of course you have, but surely the finance comes into it as well. Yeah, scared of going down because of the finance, but obviously the finance to get the quality. And you can go, if you name the leagues that are better than us, they've all got money and they're all loaded when it comes to buying the right players to put on a football show, if you want to put it like that. But surely the finance comes into it.
Of course, Dodsey.
100%.
I mean, if you
Dodsey, of course it does. But that is why it's a poor league, because there's not enough finance to get better players into the league.
Tom, I think hold on a shot, miles of it. So in fact,
And the lack of.
There's a shot for Curtis Main that sums up his Dundee career at the moment. It's going out for a throw-in. I
think it's a league that's reflective of the resources and finances available. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if I don't think it's fair to call it poor. Could it be better? Everything could be better.
The evidence is in front of our eyes every week.
I
this
think
is a poor
Celtic
stand.
domestically, Tom, are as good as I've seen domestically.
Well, why at the start of today did you not say there's none of the games, Kenny, that I'm looking forward to, because Scottish football is...
No, he loves it. He loves it. Wait a minute.
Oh, my goodness.
Wait a minute. Here we go.
There you go.
Oh, I think it's Kukarovic. It's a lovely ball in from Jordan Obita. He gets to the ball first. It's a smash and save from point blank range from Aston Oxford. The ball then bounces, but he has another goal. And somehow, I think it's possibly Zabor Dravskovsky or whoever it is, manages to scramble it around the post. Hibs should be ahead, but they're not.
The delivery's outstanding. The save's brilliant, instinctive, but the delivery's excellent.
Right, that was a strong challenge from Leanne Crichton. Tom English, do you want to respond?
I love it because of the drama, because of the bonkerdom, because of the storylines,
because of the pressure. This time. Oh my goodness!
Good Craigs, keep it going.
Was it Kukarovic? It was O'Hara. I don't know who it was, but I think it was Ewan Wilson headed it off the line. Aston Oxford came for the cross, and I was going to say pre-match he's made a real difference, because Liam Kelly didn't come off his line, and he does, but he came off his line and he missed it, and it was headed goal bound. I can't say who it is from up here, but I think it's Ewan Wilson that heads it off the line. Hibs should be ahead again, but it's still 0-0.
No, it was Lennon Miller actually. He did really well.
To be fair, if it had been Dravskovsky, it probably went in, because he's only about 4'2". So maybe would have went in, but Motherwell really living on the edge, living dangerously, and staying in the game at 0-0.
Kenny, you will get outliers. I'm talking about your results. You will get outlier results, and Tom gave us some results this week of clubs that are going to be, and that happens. You can beat Celtic, beat Barcelona. When would that ever happen? But the cream always rises. When you look at the last winners of the Champions League, it's Real Madrid, Man City, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid. What chance? They're all loaded. Celtic played the other night. They've had a record spend this year of 30 million. Doesn't even touch the sides for Dortmund.
I don't think it's brilliant. You're right, Al. I don't think it's brilliant. I don't think it's poor, Tom. I don't think it's poor. No,
well, look,
not for the finances.
Each to their own. Well, not for the finance.
It's too easy to say poor for me.
Well, I mean, I judge in what I say. Look, we're all entitled to our opinion.
Yes.
I love the league. I love the storylines. I love the drama of it. The standard for me is just, Celtic on their day can beat up St Johnstone, and it looks great, but it's St Johnstone they're playing against. We're a very poor team.
This is not a great game today, but there's some good games in the Premier League.
Again, it all comes down to finances, because it's what St Johnstone can afford to bring in.
Absolutely.
And that's where see, when you go and play in Europe against these top players, their touch is better, everything about them is better. When they're playing against St Johnstone, the ball's played to the right back, he miscontrols it, he chases it, and Celtic are on the attack and they win the ball high up. That doesn't happen in Europe.
What's a chance?
He's
miskicked.
Right, Dodgy.
It's just a free kick into the back post, and they win the header, Dundee United, knock it across, and I'm not sure who it is it Adabiega, is it there? Who just swings a foot at it. Should score, Leanne, you'll see it. He's 4 yards out. If he gets a connection, even the wrong connection, probably sclaps it into the net, but Dundee United should be ahead.
Nice, spot on. Big chance. There's been a few early moments in your game, Dodgy. Both sides going at it. St Mirren looked to me as if they could have capitalised early on as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of occasions, and we had one a few minutes ago when Walton chose to punch instead of catching it, and it fell to the back post. I think it was to Phillips, and he should have connected.
Yes, Al.
That's a brilliant hit. What a catch there. He gets a break of the ball. Simon Murray, as he does, chases it. He just hooks it over his head into the left full-back's path. He puts it on his right foot, and that's really just inches away from that far corner. Good hit.
Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0. Buonati with a goal there. Alloa 0, Cove Rangers 1, Connor Scully after 16 minutes. I'll just give you the latest scores, and then what I'm going to do, and Tom English is not involved in this because he knows the answer. I'm going to give you the teaser today. and see who. I'm going to put the listeners up against the pundits and see who comes up with the goods. I think it's a toughie. I put it to the guys in the office earlier, the online guys, about 6 of them. I think it took about 20 minutes to eventually get the answer. It's a toughie.
Can you say, full disclosure here, Kenny, on Monday when we were in the office and you posed this to the entire sports department?
Yes.
Who was the person that got the answer correct?
You, but how long did it take you?
The outsider. The guy from Limerick. Upstaging all the
rugby guy, as some people call you.
Who thinks it's such a poor league.
Yes, but I know plenty about it, Dudsy.
I'm just glad guys and girls that will get 20 minutes to spare.
Goal! Well, Cash, he's done it. You just seen him about a minute ago. He missed it with his right foot. This time it's a lovely weighted pass onto his left foot. It goes across McCrory, in off the far post, into the back of the net. We have 24 minutes on the clock. It's been coming. Dundee 1, come on it now.
That's a nice goal, nice overlap, good finish back across the goalkeeper, Alan.
Do you think maybe, just my first viewing was the keeper could have done better? I'm not sure. We'll have a look here.
Post.
Yeah, it looked a good finish to me. Right across the goalkeeper, everything you would ask players to do in that sort of situation. If the keeper saves it, maybe you get somebody following in with a rebound, but he catches it really well back across goal.
No big celebration.
The overlap, the
no
energy going forward, it's what you get from Dundee. They've always got numbers inside the box. Wonder if it's maybe went through somebody's legs actually, Kenny, there on the far side. This angle was a bit better. Nice reverse pass, I think that was Leo Cameron. Nah, it's a good hit for me because he's actually quite he's quite far out on the left hand side beyond the 6-yard box anyway in terms of the angle.
Well, Alan promised us goals. Dundee delivering 1-0 up at home to Kilmarnock. Hibs 0, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0 in the Championship this afternoon. Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 0, Falkirk 1, Ayr United 0. That goal coming for the home side after 8 minutes. Ethan Ross on the score sheet. Morton 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 0, Queen's Park 0, Hamilton Accies 0 in League 1 this afternoon. Alloa 0, Cove Rangers 2. Now Annan 0, Montrose 0, Arbroath 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 0, Dumbarton 0, Stennismuir 1, Cooney of the South 0, Kelty Hearts 1, and in League 2 this afternoon, Clyde 0, Spartans 0, East Fife 1, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Edinburgh City 0, Stranraer 1, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 0, Stirling Albion 0, Forfar Athletic 1. And in England today, Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. That's a full-time score line. Elsewhere, Arsenal 0, Southampton 0, Brentford 2, Wolves 2. What a game there. Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0. Manchester City behind against Fulham. I'll give you that goal scorer shortly. West Ham United 1, Ipswich Town 1, and 5:30 kickoff. Everton at home to Newcastle United. That goal coming from Pereira for Fulham after 26 minutes. They are ahead away at Manchester City. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read this out. This may be one of these ones that's doing the rounds that everyone knows, but someone sent it to me, so I thought we could put it to our listeners and also to our pundits and see who gets the correct answer first. So probably the best way is just for listeners, just tweet me at KennyMaxSport, at KennyMaxSport, if you think you know the answer. If any of the pundits know right away and you've heard this, don't play. Please don't play. Let's put it out to the guys and hopefully, maybe not, hopefully make them suffer. So here we are. What I'm looking for is a player who has lost a Scottish Cup final in the 80s, the 90s and the noughties. A player to lose a Scottish Cup final in the 80s, the 90s and the noughties. So it took us, you got it Tom, you're right, but it did take us, I think it's fair to say, a few clues and quite a wee while. Are you admitting to that?
Jeez, that's very harsh. I'm not admitting to anything. I got the right answer, Kenny.
And was a player in the 80s, 90s and noughties.
Yeah, a player, not as a manager, a player.
Cool.
Have a look at this challenge here, Leanne. Vassell, Silla on Vassell. Referee was play on. He's down. A header's coming in. Vassell struggling. I didn't think that was a nice challenge from Silla on Vassell. He's back up. Referee wave play on because he had the ball come on it, but not a good challenge for me.
I'll wait and get a wee look at it, but I have just did a close-up of that goalie strip that is rather fetching. Is it the Dundee goal?
Yeah.
Pink and white.
With white arms,
Aye.
is it?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Looks like a jockey.
Sorry, I mentioned earlier about Lennon Miller's range of passing. He's just fizzed one about 60 yards across the field of play to Zach Robinson. He's got in and the shot was blocked, but
Great ball.
you know, that's the one. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Just out of the blue, he'll control the ball and he'll fizz it 60, 70 yards, which I don't think many players on the pitch could do. And to be 18 and to be able to do that and have that vision and have the technique to do it, it's phenomenal.
Daisy cutter, Stephen.
Does he follow up, Craig, there? Is he the player in the edge of the box?
He follows it up and gets a shot, runs past about 3 of his own players to try and get a shot in the edge of the box. So.
Aye, brilliant.
And I said he is playing a little bit deeper. He's been playing in behind the striker. Sometimes I don't think it suits him because his back's to play. I think he's better looking at the play and seeing the pictures and scanning and having his ability to go and unlock it from a little bit deeper.
Annan Athletic 1, Montrose 0. Reece Breen on 27 minutes. Brentford now 3-2 up at home to Wolves. Norgard with a goal on 28 minutes. That's you up to date with all the latest scorelines. I'll remind you of a little teaser today. If you know it, listeners, try and beat the pundits at Kenny Mac Sport on Twitter. I can see a few coming in already. So just a reminder of what the question was. The question is a player who has lost a Scottish Cup final in the 80s, the 90s and the noughties. Let's get to some of the early answers. Ross Beacon says, is the player who lost a cup final in the 80s and 90s and the noughties Ian Jess? The answer is no. One of the guys in the office suggested this. The away section says it's Derek White. No. Fraser Kennedy is going for Gordon Strachan. That's not the case. Aileen Clifford and Jordan Rowson have both suggested Jim Leighton. It is not Jim Leighton. Dodge, you get a wee guess at this?
I don't know. Robbie Winters, no?
No, decent shout. Not Robbie Winters. I think it's a toughie. But it's a brilliant question.
Tough for some, easy for others.
Well, is he an ex-Hibs player, no?
Do you want the answer, Dodgy?
No,
are you going to try and...
Just because you got it. Give us a bit of time, man.
Right.
Of course, it's a different thing, but
on you go,
it's a different thing, Billy. No, I'm just saying to help Dodgy. It's a different thing sitting in the office with a cup of coffee, mulling over things, versus trying to commentate and cover a game.
I said that to Kenny last week. Good job. We've got 20 minutes to spare today.
The referee's booked Silla there for that challenge. It was a couple of minutes back. The ball's not been out of play since, but not a challenge for me. I'd like to see that one again. He's booked him now when the play stopped.
Well, have a look. Do you know what? Our listeners have done us proud. Lots of guesses.
Can I think about habit, but I'm not going to say.
Right, hold on then, Stephen, because Scott Hunter, another, he said Craig Brewster. It's not Craig Brewster.
No, I haven't got it then.
Right, all right, okay.
And I'm going to bring Brian McLaughlin. Is that him? And he said, yeah.
Paul Moniati has gone for Jim Leighton. It's not Jim Leighton. It's not a goalkeeper. I've got listen, the listeners have done the business here. Leanne, come on.
I just did a stab at it and asked Tom. I thought it was Paul Hartley, but he's telling me no.
No, it's not Paul Hartley.
But he has, though, lost 3 finals.
Yeah. I think Paul Hartley was born in the same year as me in 1976. We'd have been 14 by the time
in the 80s, 90s,
sorry, 80s,
90s and noughties.
14s, he'd have been too young.
89, no.
Bad Aberdeen Opinions has got in touch to say Gordon Jury. That is not the correct answer. FWS just beat John McNabb by a matter of about 20 seconds with the correct answer. So well done to our listeners. A really good job today. It's a great question.
To be fair, that was even faster than me, those two lads.
You mean even faster?
Didn't think it was possible.
Mark DeWolf has said Ian Durant, not the correct answer. Ailey Grant has gone for John Robertson. It's not Robbo, I can tell you. Alan Main is a suggestion from Chris Roger. That's another incorrect one. Thanks for all these guesses. It's good to get you guys involved. Ian David Hamilton has gone for Darren Jackson. No, it is not Darren Jackson. Just the 2 correct answers so far. We'll get one more chance for we'll give the 5 minutes. We'll give the pundits 5
minutes. It's a good one, Kenny,
to
be fair to you.
It is a good one, Dodgy. What's happening in your game there?
No, just very similar again. Just everything's from set pieces, getting put into the box, knockdowns or just the ball landing. And it fell to, again, it was Taylor about 12 yards out and just knocks over the crossbar. But that's been about it so far. There have been 2 or 3 of them in the game. 1 for Dundee United, 2 for St Mirren.
I tell you who has got the correct answer. Mr. Thompson downstairs.
Oh, has he? Tomo got it.
Tomo has it.
Nice.
There's no way he knows a footballer.
He knows his stuff. That man is.
Not a chance he knows that.
That man is.
Somebody's told him.
Do you reckon somebody's given that to him?
Absolutely.
He's maybe looked at Twitter. Alistair Sargent has got the correct answer. Well done. Political Football has also got the correct answer. Who else? Not the correct answer from Daniel Bowers. He went for Morris Malpass. We Are Scottish Football Twitter account has also got the correct answer. Let's continue around the grounds here. Let's get to the game at Dens Park. Dundee, good value for their leader, Alan.
Yeah, they're coming in. Themselves had a couple of efforts at goal. They were blocked, but of coming into it, but Dundee just looked very potent on the attack. Murray, as I always like with Simon Murray, just gives everything he's got. He's got Tiffany around about him to help him. Main's the physical presence now this afternoon, and Lyle Cameron once again. It's having a terrific game. 1-0 still to Dundee.
It's also a good day for Dundee supporter Fintry D. He's also got the correct answer, and his side are ahead at home to Kilmarnock this afternoon. What's happening through at Easter Road? A couple of chances here for you, Stephen.
Yeah, well, it's been swinging to and fro, Kenny, with that little spell as Kwan steps into the 18-yard box, tries to feed in Josh Campbell, where Kukanovic could have had a hat-trick within a matter of 3 or 4 minutes, and that was the spell where you thought Hibs were going to make the breakthrough. Since then, Motherwell have had a wee 5 or 6 minute spell where they had a couple of corners and a couple of long throws. They retained possession, but no real potency at the top end of the pitch with regards to opportunities created for them. So, again, it's been a decent watch. Both sides are having their moments, but it's just looking for that little bit of quality, that little bit of finesse where you can actually make the breakthrough. And as I said, I think once the breakthrough comes, then the game will open up.
We have seen quality, we have seen a breakthrough at the Falkirk Stadium. They're ahead against Ayr United. What's happening there now, Amy?
Oh, Kenny, Falkirk are just running absolutely rampant. Ethan Ross is on fire today. He's a joy to watch down this near hand side. He had another chance where he was cutting in and just missed the target inexplicably, to be honest with you.
Oh, problem with the line there. Let's continue around the grounds. Let's get to Firhill. Partick Thistle at home to Livingston. Let's hear from Gully Singh.
Yeah, Kenny, still 0-0 here between Partick Thistle and Livingston. A decent chance on 18 minutes. Rico deactivates the challenger, Michael Nottingham, down the right-hand side. He cut it back. The shot was on for Kyle Turner. Looked like it was going to hit the back of the net. Ryan McGowan blocked it before Thistle could take the lead. In 22 minutes, Harry Milne, he had a volley just outside the box. And Stephen Kelly on 33 minutes had a decent effort for Livy, but other than that, a lack of quality so far. Still 0-0 here at Firhill.
Thanks, Gully. Let's then get to Chick Young. What's happening on the park, Chick? A late start for you. Any update on what happened off it yet?
Not yet, no. As I said, the spectator was stretchered out the stadium, and I must say to an applause from around the ground. In terms of the football, or lack of it, I'm going to adopt the adjective of the day: poor. Very. I can't think of a goalmouth throw or spill. I have to say, seldom in my life do I agree with Tom, but today is the day.
Even if he's right, don't agree.
Stirling Albion
that
won.
did run through my head.
Stirling Albion won 4-1. Eric Sula with a goal there on 29 minutes. Man City have equalised at home to Fulham. Kovacic with a goal on 32 minutes. Stirling Albion have been 2-1 up now at home to Forfar. Ricky Wall with that goal, and Clyde are behind at home to Spartans. Mark Stowe with a goal there on 34 minutes. And in England, the lunchtime kick-off finish: Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. It's Arsenal 0, Southampton 0, Brentford 3, Wolves 2, Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0, Man City 1, Fulham 1, West Ham United 1, Ipswich 1. We've had a great reaction to our little teaser this afternoon. Let me just read out some more of the answers. Bad Aberdeen opinions gone for Ian Ferguson.
Here, Kenny.
Yeah, take it away, Dodgy.
Free kick. Well, Ferry. No, that's a wall. Got a couple of guesses, but not sure.
Right, okay, hold on a minute. Andy McBride, you've got the correct answer. Well done to Andy. David Boy says Ian Durrant. No, it's not him. Lee Hamish goes for Paul McSay. That's the wrong answer. Mark DeWolf has gone for Paul Lambert. It's not Paul Lambert. Tony Zimmerman has gone for Peter Grant. It's not Peter.
Penalty.
Susan Watt, well done. Yes, Chick.
Penalty to Dunfermline. It's it was Aaron Comrie who threw a lovely ball inside the defender. Comrie on the attack, brought it down, no doubt about it. My mind, the referee, who is Peter Stewart, pointed to the spot immediately, and Dunfermline have the chance in this bottom of the table clash to take the lead here at New Broomfield to me, but it's whatever it may be called these days. Chris Kane, I think, with the penalty taker of choice, he'll step up. He's already got the ball on the spot. Kenny, the referee, just tells the Airdrie players to stay out the box. Kane has spotted the ball, long run up. The referee's actually been very meticulous about the Airdrie players staying out the box here. Kane has wanted to take that sharp. The referee has held it up. Chris Kane.
Have a look at this challenge. Sorry, Chick. Simon Murray, on a Kilmarnock player. Referee's taking his time. Yellow card. He runs full pellet.
On you go, Chick.
His team's in.
Chris Kane with the penalty kick. The referee blows. He'll take it right footed. Long run up and has put it beyond the goalkeeper, beyond Murray Johnston, and Dunfermline have the lead here. It's at Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 1.
Thanks to Chick Young there with that goal news for Dunfermline. Take away, Dodgy.
As a sub, it's a strange one. There must be an injury. Jacques van der Sande, he's had to go off, and Glenn Middleton has just come on. That's only 38 minutes played.
Right, so we're going to wrap this up. Just apologies, I've already said this. Away section went for John O'Neill. It's not correct. Ian Strachan did have the right answer. Jarvie went for Yogi Hughes. That's not the correct answer. Finch O'Neill mentioned him. William O'Neill, he's also got the right answer. That's Susan Watt. And I've been through all the rest, I think. Andy McBride's got the right answer, as has Gringig. And final one, B Tough, is gone for Dave McPherson. It's not Dave McPherson.
So we got all of these people out there listening, got it right.
Here he is.
None of the experts, so-called.
Well, let's give them one last chance. Let's give them one last chance. Biscuits, you're usually very good at this sort of stuff.
Some of us are working, Kenny.
Come on, that's a cop-out, Alan. That's usually
John O'Neill.
Some of us were
O'Neill.
born in the 80s as well. That surely makes it fair.
Right, put them out of the misery, Tom. Put them out of the misery.
When I say it's a poor standard in the league, I'm not just referring to the football.
Some of us are working and can't work Google on a Saturday when you're working.
The punditry leaves a lot to
the
be
goalie's
desired.
just been taken out there.
All right, we'll have a look.
And
Leanne's going to have a look at this.
It's behind the pillar, so I don't know who's taking him out, but the goalie's lying on the ground. Looks like his right ankle. Hopefully he's all right.
Biscuits, I've tried to explain to Kenny how this programme works. And he's got a cushy wee job in the studio.
Sitting eating grapes. Well,
grapes, aye, that's
chocolate.
right. Aye, that's right.
Crisps,
They
chocolate,
don't cover grapes and
Coca-Cola.
chocolate, unfortunately. Right, I'll give you some goals. You have a chance to look at that, Leanne? Just
No, I'm looking for a replay.
I genuinely can't see
Seen they
it.
coming together, but didn't look like there was too much more in it.
Can't
Right.
wait Dundee get their new ground. There'll be no pillars to
When do
look
you
around.
think that'll happen, Alan?
I think
Realistically.
the day when I've got
Marley
shoulder length
Watkins,
curly hair.
Dumbarton 0, Stenhousemuir 2, Matthew Aitken with the goal on 35 minutes. East Fife are 2-0 up at home to Bonnyrigg Rose. Alan Troughton on 38 minutes, and that is you right up to date. Actually, tell I, Kelty Hearts now 3-0 up away Cooney to the South. Scott Williams with the goal in 41 minutes. Tom, the correct answer.
The correct answer is Mixu Patalainen.
Well done to
Said it
all
was a
our
Hibs
listeners.
player, a former Hibs.
Yeah, well done to all our listeners. Plenty got in touch today with and more wrong answers coming in their way. Section went for David Bowman, but the correct answer, Mixu Patalainen. Well done to everyone that got in touch today. Now, Tom, it's been suggested to me with a rant line, as I'm calling it, our WhatsApp voice note line. So you can send us a message. Michael Stewart also got the correct answer. I've just checked my phone. Michael got that a good few minutes ago. Well done to Michael. He's tuned in. So let's go for it then. 08085 92 95 00. And what's been put to me is, Tom, that people may want to respond to your assessment that Scottish football, the standard, the excitement's brilliant, the stories are brilliant, just in the standard is poor. So if people want to respond to that, 08085 92 95 00. Send us a voice note, we'll play it out later.
Yeah, please do. I'd be genuinely very interested to hear people who go to matches all the time. What did they think of the standard? Not the excitement or the passion, which is undeniable and it's fantastic.
Yeah, we love it.
We're talking about the quality across the board. You know, there are obviously exceptions. There's some terrific young players. We want more young players in Scottish football to be given a chance, like Glennon Miller has been given a chance. I think that's a part of the problem as well. A lot of imports coming in who I don't think are really very good. And I'd love to see more young Scottish players be given a chance.
See, your international break, Kenny, that's when you should be having your debate about the young boys.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it was a good debate a few weeks ago, Alan, wasn't it, when we the chap in from the SFA?
Yeah, very good.
Big save at Easter Road, Kenny.
Yep,
Hibs almost taking the lead again. Quan this time, right hand edge of the box, left footed shot into the bottom corner. Oxborough got it round the post. The corresponding corner, Motherwell have managed to clear, but all the chances, the really clear-cut chances of our life for Hibs this afternoon, they just haven't managed to get that breakthrough. It's still 0-0.
Right, a real lack of goals, you'd have to say, across the country this afternoon. Let's get to the game in Paisley. Just talk to us about what's happening there. The teams cancelling each other a bit, Billy, or?
Yeah, but there was a Stramass there. Maybe Leanne, was bodies flying everywhere there, and I think it was Glenn Middleton who had the final shot, was deflected wide. It was a real chance, long throw, flicked on, couple of shots. I think Jalby was one of them. Was Docherty in there? Was Lucas Stevenson in there, but eventually Glenn
I
Middleton
think we're
puts it
going to get a
wide.
red card here.
All right.
I think it's Silla for a second yellow. Let's have a look.
Yeah, looks like
Have
it.
a look at it. See what you think,
The
Leanne.
red-
It's over
the
the
red-
far
He's
side for me
definitely
again.
getting a red, that's
red
for
is
sure.
out.
I think
Second
the
yellow.
referee's indicating an elbow, perhaps.
But a red. You'll be able to have a look.
Right.
Yeah,
still
just
waiting
waiting
on
It
the
was
replay.
booked earlier for I thought was a heavy challenge on Vassell.
Yeah, and he's asking for it to go to VAR, but that won't happen because it's
Have
a
you seen
second yellow.
No, still waiting for the replay. David Watson's in there. Here
Now,
we
there's
go.
been a few challenges though, Alan, last couple of minutes or so.
There has been. It's been
Certainly
very,
a bit
very
of bite
meaty.
in the game.
What was here we are, Leanne.
Strange. Oh no. Doesn't
What?
look like there's.
I have no idea what that's
anything
for.
in
I
it.
didn't
So-
think there was any. In fact, listen, I've only seen it live. I thought that actually
wait.
the Kilmarnock player fouls
Has
the
he caught
the
him?
Dundee
Yeah,
player.
it's-
He
Maybe
might
wrong.
have caught him, but the Kilmarnock player's behind him, and he's won the ball. I don't think he's headed the ball, so I'm unsure with that, Alan. It looks, Silla looks absolutely bemused.
I am
Donnelly's
as well. I
trying to
just seen him
justify
pulling
it.
out the red card, and I
Yeah.
thought, why? I honestly thought.
And
there
I mean,
was
the
much in
fact
that. I
that
didn't
he's
see anything
gone
in that at all.
The fact he's gone second yellow, I mean, there's going to be no review, but no, there's not an awful lot to us, Kenny. You're the closest
I'm
again.
the closest to it. But and first instant, I thought no, Leanne. He was seeing it again. So here he's going forward. So he's challenging.
He wins the first header. He goes for the second.
It's hard. That angle does not show us whether there was a connection, perhaps with the elbow
It
into
looks
the.
more to me like the player runs into his arm that's elevated as he goes to header. Tom, I don't know what your thoughts are.
We'll try and get a video of that and have a wee look at it and give you a definitive on Al. But you're right.
Let me know. I
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't see anything in it. I just seen the referee pulling out his red card.
Silla looks appalled at the decision, doesn't he?
And do you know what, Alan? I often find your instinct when you're at the game is usually correct.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't see anything in it at all. You might tell me different. It's over the far side for me. You know, when we sit in the main stand here, it's right over at the far end. I thought it was a fair enough challenge by Silla. Didn't see anything wrong with it at all, but the referee's on the spot. Second yellow and he's off.
Now we'll try and get a
Heard you
replay
look at a
there.
penalty here.
Take away, Chick.
Yeah, I heard you claiming for a penalty kick. Some great defending. In fact, the referee, I thought he'd changed his mind and was given the penalty, but it was a long ball over the top, and Airdrie got the ball right to the front. It was a lovely ball actually played out the back. Bagney Morgan got it up the park, but the referee says no, and the Airdrie complain they're not getting it, and we play on with Dunfermline leading here by a 1-0 from a penalty.
I'm just waiting for a replay. I'm looking at Matty Kennedy. It was that had the collision, certainly with Silla. He's got blood all over his face, so I mean, there's clearly been contact, but I don't know if it doesn't look to me like there was too much of a throwback of them or anything from Silla. It certainly didn't look intentional from
Half time here,
the angle
Kenny.
I've seen.
It's 0-0 in Paisley.
Thanks, Billy. West Ham United 2, Ipswich Town 1. Kudus with a goal in 44 minutes. Dumbarton have pulled a goal back in their game at home to Stenhousemuir. Carlo Pignatello with a goal on 42 minutes. Brentford 4, Wolves 2.
5 minutes added on here, but Leanne, I mean, if he smashed him in the nose, it's violent conduct. It's a straight red.
Yeah,
it's not
I
a
know.
second yellow.
No, I know. It's a strange one. It's a strange decision the way it's been dealt with, because you would expect that just to be a straight red because you would have interpreted it as that.
Yeah, that is an interesting one. I say we'll try and get our people to send us a video of that, a close-up, because it was just a very difficult angle there, almost similar. Yeah, obviously,
chance!
Yeah, take it away, Al.
I think it's Watkins at the near post, is it? It's a good ball in from Vassell, and it is. It's Watkins at the near post. Got to do better, Marley Watkins there with a header down. Just doesn't get it on target. Good ball in. Not a great header. Should have equalised though.
What's happening at Easter Road, Stephen?
Well, we're drifting towards half-time. There was 3 minutes added on. We're 1 minute into that, but I think Hibs will feel as if possibly they should be ahead, Kenny, with the chances. They've created the best chances. Motherwell have done okay in certain parts, but they looked a little bit blunt at the top end of the pitch. Stuart Kettleman's gone with the front two as opposed to the one striker and the two in behind. So I just wonder in the second half, will he make a little change? He's got Maswanisi on the bench. He's got Tony Watt on the bench. He's got Abaye on the bench where he can bring them on and mix it up. But we're drifting towards half-time. I think Motherwell will probably be the happier.
Kenny, I'm just having a look. It actually looks like a foul on Silla, if I'm being honest.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That was my initial thoughts.
He's got no idea that Kennedy's coming into the back of him, and Kennedy literally runs into the back of Silla. and that's why he's come off worse. But for me, still has been really hard done by.
Yeah, just
another really questionable decision from the officials.
That's. Yeah, I mean, someone who's watching that as well just messaged me saying a total embarrassment.
Because his eyes are fixated on the ball. Kenny, we watched it, the first picture we're seeing, he wins the first head, the ball then breaks again, another header to go and defend, and he's there, he wins it clearly. How the referee has interpreted that is...
And also, Leanne, I'm saying usually you can tell by players' reaction. He was totally dumbfounded by it, wasn't he? He could not understand the decision.
No, I think he was hooked last week, still at half-time as well, if I remember correctly. And then he's been sent off this week at half-time.
He was ill last week.
I think what you would say, Kenny, is blood isn't the defining factor. Some people think because there's blood, that must be a yellow, it must be a red. That's not always a defining factor how referees look at it. But the referee probably wouldn't have got to see whether there was blood or not because he made the decision very quick.
You're right, Stephen. He absolutely did. He flashed the card very, very quickly. The player looked totally bemused at the decision. Leanne's had a chance to have a look at the replay there, and it looks as if it should have been a foul the other way. It's going to be very interesting to hear the reaction from the Dundee manager, Tony Docherty there. We'll hear from him post. I heard from him before the game. This game always delivers goals. It delivers some fantastic games last season. Plenty of talking points again with it this afternoon. So still playing in your game there, Alan. And what
half-time Easter Road 0-0.
Thanks, Stephen. What about Kilmarnock this afternoon, Alan? What have you made of them?
Scrappy, I would say. In the last 5-10 minutes, they had come into the game. Vassell's getting more into it. They had that chance with O'Malley Watkins with the head once Dundee have gone down to 10 men. Not played as well as they can, shooting up the hill. They would certainly expect Derek McInnes a lot better in the second half, having the man advantage going down the hill as well. So I expect more from Kilmarnock in the second half.
Right, OK, what we'll do is we will go around the grounds, give you the half-time reports. I'll give you the scores from all across the country and also from the top flight down in England. Plenty more to come on sports, and we're with you right through until 7 o'clock.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder! What a goal! From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Sports and on BBC Radio Scotland from 5:30. We'll get fan reaction, plenty to talk about already in Scottish football. You can look ahead to the games tomorrow. You can look back on the European games. Whatever you want to talk about, you can send us a voice note on WhatsApp 08085 92 95 00. We'll also use that number to respond to Tom English's comments about Scottish football. He feels he loves the game, but the standard, according to Tom, in Scottish football is poor. So let us know your thoughts on that. Let's start around the grounds and get the half-time reports kicking off at Easter Road. The Hibs against Motherwell. Let's hear from Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, Kenny, there's a bit of excitement coming into this game. Hibs had a good performance last weekend at Ibrox. Motherwell had beat St Mirren at home. I think it's 5 wins in the last 6 games. So everyone thought there'd be goals, there'd be plenty of excitement. It's taken a little while to get going. The first real opportunity, the first controversial moment came when Triantis broke into the box. He was looking for a penalty kick, but on second review, he had threw himself down. So Matthew McDermott issued him a yellow card. From that point on, there was a spell for Hibs. Kakarovic could have had a hat-trick. A delightful cross from the left-hand side from Jordan Obita. He managed to get there first, just ahead of Aston Oxford, who managed to keep it out at point blank range. The ball didn't get cleared, it bobbled about, it bounced about. He managed to then somehow drag it past the post. From the resulting corner, he had another chance. He won a header round about the penalty spot, and Lennon Miller managed to clear it off the line. And you felt at that moment it was only a case of when Hibs would get that opening goal and not if. It didn't transpire. Kwon was next to try, edging towards half-time. A shot with his left foot into the bottom corner. Oxford done really well down to his right-hand side. I think they'll be disappointed they haven't got the goal. Their players probably deserved it. For Motherwell, they've huffed and puffed. They've defended in numbers. The 2 centre-forwards, Tomatolopoulos and Zach Robinson, have been isolated. Lennon Miller's played some eye-catching football, some passing, some touches, but they need a little bit more punch. Joseph Bursick in goal has not been tested at all. So Stuart Kettlewell, I'd imagine, will be the happier of the 2 managers. David Gray will just be hoping that his team can go out and create the same chances in the second half, but take them. Half-time here, Hibs 0, Motherwell 0.
Thank you to Stephen Craig, and let's then get back to Alan Preston at Dens Park. Dundee at home to Kilmarnock.
Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 0, Kenny, at half-time, and Dundee with only 1 league win. They wanted to obviously build on that if they can. Kilmarnock still winless this year, but there wasn't a great first half. Lara Kesh had an effort in 22 minutes when a nice play by Simon Murray lifts it over into the full-back's path, and his right foot effort whistled by the post. That was just a warning shot, because 2 minutes later Larrakesh opened the score, and lovely play by Cameron. A disguised pass to Larrakesh on the overlap, and his left foot shot across the keeper in off the post gave Dundee that 1-0 lead. Silla was booked for a challenge on Vassell, and then 10 minutes later he's seen a second yellow for an innocuous challenge on Kennedy. It's over the far side. I thought that Silla was actually the one that was fouled and not Kennedy, but the referee produces a yellow card, the second one, resulting in a red 1 minute before half time. And then obviously Kilmarnock then with that man advantage go up the park. Vassell's wide on the right, he whips a cross in, and there's Mally Watkins with a header into the ground and into the side net, and the best chance for Kilmarnock. Down to 10 men, Dundee have got a lot to go for in the second half, but they've got that 1-0 lead. Half-time score, Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, saw the pictures coming into the studio there. Tony Docherty remonstrating with the referee as they headed for the exit there in the first half. Very, very unhappy with that decision to send off his player, but they do have the 1-goal advantage at home to Kilmarnock. Let's then get to Paisley, where St Mirren are playing Dundee United, and hear from Billy Dodds.
Coinciding with the opinion of Tom English, this has been a poor first half. But there have been chances, Kenny. In the first minute, Taylor from a free kick, and there have been a lot of set pieces and free kicks, long throws. It's been dropped in the box, but he managed to overhead kick it, maybe a couple of feet over the crossbar. Then Will Ferried a shot in 14 for United. And then Phillips also had a chance for St Mirren, where he got the wrong connection when probably at the angle, maybe 10 yards out. A minute later, well, the best chance of the match, it should have been 1-0 United. Free kick, Graham at the back post, knocked it back in, and somehow Adebayoga up from 4 yards, miskicked it. Even if he got any connection on it at all, he would probably have scored. Just after the half hour, it dropped in the box, and Taylor again hit it over, and then Adubu had a snapshot wide, but that's been about it. And as I said, in a poor first half in Paisley, it's 0-0.
Thank you to Billy Dodds. We are covering 3 games in the Championship this afternoon. First stop, the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk against Ayr United. There for us, Amy Canavan.
Half time here, Kenny. Yeah, Falkirk 1, Ayr United 0. Falkirk are flying, and John McGlynn must be bamboozled. His side are only 1 goal to the good. They are up through. Ethan Ross, the rapid winger, has been a joy to watch on this near left hand side in the first half. If it wasn't for my dodgy line, you would have been hearing a lot more from me, so maybe the listeners are actually quite thankful for that. Gary Oliver, on his 100th appearance for the Bairns, nicked possession in the centre circle of Ayer's half, broke away, slipped in Ross, who just narrowed the angle and snuck it beyond Liam Russell. Quite the celebration as well, actually, in front of the travelling Ayr fans. Ross nearly hit some of them, actually, with his next effort. He really should have done a lot better. He'd done all the hard work in the box, weaving his way to shoot on the left-hand side, but fired the ball high and wide. Calvin Miller had a crack with a real powerful effort. Russell parried away, while they are just the pick of a really rather busy bunch. As I mentioned there, Falkirk absolutely flying here. It is a dangerous scoreline though for the hosts. Ayr, credit to them, have looked a little threat on the counter, and the counter is really the only chance that they've had due to Falkirk's dominance. Nothing special from Ayr though. All the shots have been simple smothers and stops for Nicky Hogarth. Plenty to ponder for Scott Brown at half-time, while John McGlynn will no doubt just be asking for more of the same. Falkirk 1, Ayr United 0.
Thank you to Amy Canavan. Let's now hear from Gully Singh. He's at Firhill for us, watching Partick Thistle against Livingston.
Yes, Kenny, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 0. Partick Thistle enjoyed the early stages of possession without causing Livy too many problems. The away side took their time to find their feet. Stevie May trying his best to be a nuisance in the Thistle goal. But it took 18 minutes for any real chance of not in this game. Rico Diak reaching the challenger Michael Nottingham, reaches the byline, cuts it back in the path of Kyle Turner. He looks to get a shot away, but a last gasp challenge from Ryan McGibbon prevents Thistle going ahead. On 22 minutes, Harry Milne was on the verge of his 3rd goal this season. A corner was cleared. Milne waiting on the edge of the box, sizing up for a volley, puts it straight into the arms of Jerome Pryor. It's the only shot on target this entire half. It tells you everything you need to know. And 10 minutes later, Stephen Kelly for Livy took a right-footed shot, hit it low and hard. It was blocked and out for a corner. I'm still trying to figure out whether both sides' defence are the reason we're all square, or perhaps it's just a lack of imagination from the attack. But half-time here so far, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 0.
Thank you. Let's now hear from Chick Young. Airdrie against Dunfermline this afternoon for you, Chick.
Yeah, Kenny, and you join me just as the half-time whistle is being blown. Remember, this game was held up actually for 10 minutes while there was a spectator who had a medical problem behind the goal was attended to, taken out the stadium. We wish him or her all the very best. I'll try and catch up with news on that later. In terms of the football, it was pretty bang average for a long time. There was a 1 goal in the first half. It came from the penalty spot. It was stuck away by Kane, Chris Kane. After Comrie had been brought down, it was a stick-on penalty. For me, Kane did the business, and Dunfermline were 1-0 ahead, and as I said, a pretty poor match. But in the wake of that, actually, it perked up a wee bit, and certainly from the Airdrie point of view, there was a quite fantastic... They took out a goal kick inside their 6-yard box. They just passed it, and I thought, what on earth are you doing? But in true Manchester City style, they knocked it about, got all the way up to the other end, and it was a magnificent strike eventually from Adam Frizzell, which went just beyond the right-hand post of Dennis Mehmet. It would have been a wonderful goal, which would have lit up a pretty poor game, I have to say. So we've got a situation at the moment where Airdrie need the points at the bottom of the league, so too did Dunfermline, of course. But it's the Pars, the visitors, who are leading here by 1-0.
Thank you to Chick Youngs. In the Premiership, Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 0, Hibs 0, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0. 3 games tomorrow, all covered on Sports Sound for you. In the Championship, as Chick was telling us, Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 1, Falkirk 1, Ayr United 0, Morton 0, Wraith Rovers 0, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 0, Queen's Park 0, Hamilton Accies 0. Let's get into League One. We're covering one game there for you this afternoon. Arbroath at home to Inverness Cally Thistle. Let's hear from Martin Dowden.
Yeah, half-time, Arbroath 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0. All or most of the chances came Inverness's way. The biggest of those in that half to Louis Longstaff. Cut inside, struck from an angle, hit off the post. I'm not sure if McAdams got a touch and goal as a corner was given, but very good chance nonetheless. Earlier, Billy Mackay raced clear in on McAdams. The keeper was out quick and blocked to keep Arbroath level. Paul Allen had a header well saved. Charlie Riley claimed penalty right at the start when he went down under Watson's challenge, not given. Fraser Taylor, in response for Arbroath, he had a nice effort from distance that Debaga held well. That was Arbroath's first and only real chance so far. Mackay then volleyed wide off balance. It's been Inverness in top. Play a little bit condensed in the middle of the park for a spell. Entertaining enough, but lacking a little spark of quality perhaps. A bit of standard perhaps, Kenny. Thank goodness Tom English isn't here. 0-0.
A real lack of goals across the country this afternoon. A few more elsewhere in League One. Alloa 0, Cove Rangers 2, Alloa down to 10 men. Annan Athletic 1, Montrose 0, Dumbarton 1, Stenhousemuir 2, Queen of the South 0, Kelty Hearts 3 in League 2, Clyde 0, Spartans 1, East Fife 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Bonnyrigg down to 10 men, Edinburgh City 0, Stranraer 1, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 1, Stirling Albion 2, Forfar Athletic 1, and in England full-time Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Half-time scores: Arsenal 0, Southampton 0, Brentford 4, Wolves 2, Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 1, Fulham 1, West Ham United 2, Ipswich Town 1. 5:30 start, Everton at home to Newcastle United.
Whatever you're looking for, we've got sounds for that.
When you wake up, you'll always get the latest news, sport, travel and weather with Good Morning Scotland.
Everything you need to know to start the day.
Get it on. Place the songs you want to hear. Great range of music and a great range of voices tonight as well.
And the music keeps on playing. And Political is the podcast that brings you the biggest stories coming out of Holyrood and Westminster.
They clearly think this is going to be a big issue.
Music, radio, podcasts. Listen on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Open all mics about to kick off in the second half. One of the big talking points, Tom English, in that first half at Dens Park was his second yellow. Dundee down to 10 men. Silla sent off. You've had another look. I know Leanne's had another look. Do you both agree in terms of the wrong decision?
Yeah.
That seems to be the consensus.
I think the referee thought it was a swinging arm. I thought initially from the first viewing, I thought it might have been a swinging arm from Silla. It's not a swinging arm.
Yeah.
Kennedy kind of shoves into the back of him. And I think his elbow might just catch Kennedy, but Kennedy initiates it, and it's a brutally harsh second yellow card. I don't think it's fair.
No, it's not. Silla's got no idea that there's a player behind him, and there's a fair bit of contact from Kennedy coming through the back of Silla. So no, it's look at the pictures there. Look at the picture.
We're seeing his face. He can't believe it.
He's completely shocked. Things can happen in the pitch that's accidental. You know that it's completely accidental. He's done nothing wrong other than challenge for the ball. I mean, the ball's in the air for a good number of seconds. There's a couple of headers back and forward, and he gets full contact on the ball. There's no intent there at all to.
Yeah, it's interesting just looking at that. We're just seeing the second halves get up and running again. You're back underway in Paisley, Billy.
Dundee United on the attack, not poor cross. It's again the same theme. It was a long throw, and that's the best chances that are coming away for both teams. Have both got long throws in their team. Graham for Dundee United and Phillips for St Mirren, and they just keep on launching it in, but still no breakthrough. It just kicked off.
Yeah, Tom, you just alerted me to a story here.
Yeah, Angus Gunn, Norwich, taken off injured at half time in their game. So not great news for Steve Clarke. As if he doesn't have enough injuries on his plate, he may have another one now.
Do you guys all welcome the return of Craig Gordon to the national side, regardless of this today, but the right decision?
Nice one, Frank. Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's the best available, and you go with the best available. And I think you try and win. You try and win the battle in front of your face, and if that means bringing in a 41-year-old, if he's the best option, then that's what you do.
Yeah, look, if he's
so
the best,
Tom, what was all this circus? What was all this circus about? His 75th cap, the big farewell.
I know.
I don't get that check either.
I suspect that was supposed to be the end, but it hasn't.
Well, there was no need for it in the distraction ahead of the Euros.
You're right.
Kenny, can I quickly just get back? Sorry,
Len, you also don't know Craig Gordon. Craig Gordon has almost ended his career when he left Sunderland because of his arm, and then obviously the double leg break. People are thinking he's going to come back for that. You never write Craig Gordon off. And for him to say after his 75th cap, you might have thought, that's it, Gunn's the one, McCrory's coming through, etc., Liam Kelly at the time. Football changes.
Do you think he was told that was his final cap that night?
No,
he was emotional. And was it you, Alan, that said he spoke to the players?
Yeah, he spoke to the players in the changing room after it, but I just think it was because they felt that the manager put him out. There you go, this is your swan song. The manager maybe made the decision, but Craig Gordon certainly didn't. He's not said, I'm retiring from international football, I don't want to play for my country again. And knowing Craig Gordon is I don't know him personally, but just looking at his career, if Scotland can get to the World Cup, he'll want to be involved.
I don't doubt that. Sorry, Kenny, I was just going to say, pictures coming in again of that red card that I was looking at. Now, Grant Irvine has the cards in his hand, but he's actually over the top of Matty Kennedy having a look at him and waves on the physio team to come and treat him before he then brandishes the red card. So there's a bit of blood being drawn there. I just wonder how much of that's been an influence as well, and the fact that he's looked at that and thought there has been clearly contact, and the way he's viewed it has been right, whereas for us it's completely accidental and there's nothing in the challenge at all. Yeah,
and we saw it, Tom highlighted, we saw the one with Tanzer last week when St Mirren went down to 10 men away at Motherwell away at Hibs this afternoon. Stephen, what have you made of both sides in that first half?
Well, that's both teams just out for the second half. Kenny, Motherwell have made one sub. Davor Zrabkowski has gone off and Tom Sparrow has gone on. So Stuart Kettlewell clearly not happy with something, although Zrabkowski had been booked in the first half. He had a couple of little incidents after it, so that must be playing in the mind of Stuart Kettlewell. But Motherwell have to be better, no doubt about it. They have to try and be a bit more creative at the top end of the pitch. Hibs just need to have that cutting edge. They just need someone with a little bit of composure to make sure the ball finds the back of the net. I said it at half time, I think Hibs will be happier, but Stuart Kettlewell will be happier. So looking for a much improved second half.
Dundee United screaming for a penalty there, get a look at it. I don't think it is, Leanne. It's a ball in from the left with Middleton. I think it's Lucas Stevens who gets the header, but straight at the St Mirren player with the hands down at the side. Is that right?
I'm going to wait for a replay. I've seen it just as it kind of flashed by. Billy didn't get an angle that would be clear enough to call, but I'll give you a wee shout if it comes back on.
Yeah, just waiting for the replay there. Manchester City are 2-1 up at home to Fulham. Kovacic with the goal there on 47 minutes. Having a look now, Leanne, was that a replay there?
No, it's just the corner that's come in there, Kenny.
Right,
there is claims for another bit of contact.
It cleared it anyway.
I think, is it Gallagher that's down on the turf?
Somebody's still lying there. I think it is Declan Gallagher still.
What about St Mirren this afternoon, Dodgy? What have you made of them?
Two, as I said, and I'm not just making up, it's two evenly matched teams. Honestly, they're playing almost identical, different formations, but identical
So
styles
what do you do?
of play.
What do you do as a manager, Billy? You're looking at this and you're trying to make a breakthrough in the game. What are you looking to change?
Well, somebody mentioned earlier, I think it was Stephen, wasn't it, about the fear in losing games? It looks like that here. So do you get technical players on? Yeah, maybe since Middleton's come on, there's been a few more things happening for United. Not enough from outfield play. Everything's been like set pieces, but both managers, and it's a big thing in the game, pride themselves on long throws, free kicks, and see what they can get. So nobody's changing yet. The formations are still the same, 1-4-3-3, 1-3-5-2, but nothing's given in the game. The best chances have come from long throw-ins, free kicks, and things dropping in the box that have been booted over the crossbar.
Just getting a look at that handball shout, I think it was Taylor, Billy, but his arm was by his side.
Yeah, never a penalty.
And there was actually just get another look at the coming together with Gallagher in the penalty area. I think it was Gogic. It was probably a similar type contact to what we've just seen, a yellow card and a set yellow and a red card. And it's absolutely nothing to be looked at in the St Mirren Dundee United game.
Tom, just to go back to the goalkeeping situation, we'll wait and see what the extent of the injury is for Angus Gunn, but do you believe his position was under threat anyway? I mean, there are a couple of great saves against Portugal, but he has made some errors in recent games.
Yeah, and I think we focus on the errors and we don't kind of give him a lot of credit for the saves. I think he's the number one. I think Steve Clarke has decided he's the number one, and I think that's fair enough. You'd want him to be better, but I think he's probably the best that Scotland have at the moment. Now it looks like he might be injured. He's off at half time. That's not a good sign. Craig Gordon is probably the next cab off the rank, as they say.
Another goal at Falkirk, Amy Canavan.
Absolutely, Kenny, and it's that man Ethan Ross, no surprise at all, and it is absolutely nothing less than Falkirk deserve. It's fantastic work from Calvin Miller down this near hand side, works his way into the middle of the box and just feeds off Ethan Ross, who's completely unmarked, and fires past Lewis Russell right across the face of goal. It's a wonderful finish. It's a wonderful clinical goal all round from Falkirk. They are absolutely flying here. Falkirk 2, Ayr United 0.
Dodgy, you know how tough that league is. Are you surprised that, given they've just been promoted, how well Falkirk are doing?
Not really with their style of play. We're a good team. When we played them in the semi-final, even though the scoreline ended up looking better than what it was, they caused us problems, and he never changes his style. Going back to Brendan Rodgers at the start of the programme, he just gets the ball down, plays, it's an attacking brand of football. So and it's amazing when you talk about Inverness, like Falkirk's, that stabilised the club. They said that at the time, and it's enhanced them, and they've gone on to get into the Championship and doing really well. Whereas for Inverness, they get to the final and it's like no finance. The finance is gone. It's a really strange one. But Falkirk have certainly built the money they got from that semi-final, and they've kept their style of play, and they're flying.
But you know what helps is 43 league games unbeaten as well.
Yeah.
And there's not much of a difference between League One and Championship. You know, at full-time level, there's not, player-wise, maybe £100, £150 difference. There's not much. The quality you're going to get for that is about the same. So when you go 43 games unbeaten in league games, it really helps your team spirit.
Morton 1, Wraith Rovers 0. Stuparevich with a goal on 49 minutes. Are you concerned, Alan? I know you said earlier on it's very early days, but from what you've seen of Kilmarnock today, and given the run of form we know they're on, we'll have a Kilmarnock fan join us at 5:30. Should they be concerned of what they're seeing right now?
They will be, because that's what it's like. There's a heavy knock here.
Yeah.
Well done, as a head knock. It's a good ball in. I think Watkins is in the middle of it, but you'll see this. Kometu is the one that's going down in the box. Would I be concerned? Yeah, probably. You know, but it's early on in the season, as I touched on before the show, Kenny. We're 6 games in.
Yeah.
They've still got, I think it's about 37, 38 minutes here to get something out of this game. They've got a man advantage. They're pressing home at the moment. So yeah, I think Derek will be a little bit concerned, but not overly at the moment.
Yeah, they are trailing there, but they do have the man advantage after that very harsh red card shown to Silla of Dundee just before the break there. Larakesh with a goal for Dundee on 24 minutes. 1-0 to the home side, 0-0 at Easter Road, 0-0 in Paisley. Falkirk cruising against Ayr United.
Oh, big save!
Right,
Axton Oxbury, yeah, Hibs almost got the breakthrough. Hibs won the ball, turned it over. Motherwell then turned the ball over immediately, and Hibs broke right through. Kakarovic does really well, drives up the middle of the pitch, feeds it into Cadden, who gets beyond Wilson on the right-hand side. Out comes Oxford, makes himself big. Cadden goes low, and he manages to keep it out. The pressure's still on
for the home side, but another big chance gone to begging for Hibs, still 0-0.
See that, Leanne, see this rule, but they can't look at VAR for a second yellow. This should be changed.
Yeah,
this has to
I
be
agree.
looked at.
I think it's especially yellow cards that are leading to
just let them
to
have a look
red
at
card.
it, you know,
I
and then say help the referee out there, because this referee's going to get slaughtered for this. And there's where if VAR could say, like, you know what, it's not a second yellow, then he gets away with it.
Aye, no, I totally agree, Alan. It's one that we've got to look at. When you've got the technology, I know then people are going to go, I know, but the yellow card, this, but ultimately the red card is the defining factor.
In Scotland this afternoon, the Premiership, Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 0, Dundee down to 10 men, Hibs 0, Motherwell 0, St Mirren 0, Dundee United 0. In the Championship this afternoon, Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 1, Falkirk 2, Ayr United 0, Morton 1, Wraith Rovers 0, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 0, Queen's Park 0, Hamilton Accies 0. In League One, Alloa 0, Cove Rangers 2, the home side down to 10 men, Annan Athletic 1, Montrose 0, Arbroath 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 0, Dumbarton 1, Stenhousemuir 2, Queen of the South have just pulled a goal back against Kelty Hearts, but they trail by 3 goals to 1. In League 2, Clyde 0, Spartans 1, East Fife 2, 10-man Bonnyrigg Rose 0, Edinburgh City 0, Stranraer 1, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 1, Stirling Albion 2, Forfar Athletic 1. And in England, Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. That's a full-time score. Southampton have just gone ahead away at Arsenal. Cameron Archer with a goal there on 55 minutes. It was a late show from Mikel Arteta's side last weekend, but they got the job done. Brentford 4, Wolves 2, Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 2, Fulham 1, West Ham United 3, Ipswich Town 1, 5:30 kick-off. Everton at home to Newcastle, 5:30 on this programme. You, the fans, the listeners, can have your say. Plenty of things to talk about. We'll have fans join us on the phone lines. You can also leave us a voice note on WhatsApp, 08085 92 95 00. A chance here, Al?
Liam Donnelly, it's really patient play by Kilmarnock, go from side to side. Eventually they free Donnelly up, edge of the box, gets the ball out on his right foot, tries to curl it in that far top corner. Easy save for McCracken.
Crags have just been following the pictures coming in from Easter Road. It looks like Hibs are getting a fair bit of sustained pressure here up against Motherwell, a number of corners, a few opportunities.
It is, it's a case of, Leanne, I think Motherwell have come to play in the counter-attack. Putting two centre forwards on at the start of the game made me think that they're going to be really attack-minded and get after the game, but the two centre forwards have been isolated, Zach Robinson and Stamatolopoulos. They've been on their own for far too long. There's too big a gap between the midfield and the forward players, so I think they could do with a couple of link men. You know, that 3-4-3 system that he has been playing has suited them at times, so I wonder will they eventually go to that, because you get Tony Watt, you've got Maswanisi, who's got a little bit of pace, who's a good ball carrier. They haven't had that this afternoon.
Yeah.
Made a sub Dundee United here, Kenny. Kevin Holt's come on for Ross Graham. He's picked up an injury, and just you were talking about it, what they're going to do. St Mirren looked as if they were going to put on Greg Kiltie, but suddenly they've changed it. I saw Stevie Robinson go back there and say calm down, he's not coming on quite just yet.
Right, Chick, are you with us there? Everything okay down there at the game?
With me personally or the football match?
Well, a bit of both.
It's always a concern for you, Charles, you know that.
I just had to check you there, because I've got a message from Derek Ferguson who's tuned in. Derek loves and is very much a star of Open All Mics. Right, take it away, whoever's got a chance there.
Oh, what a save. I think it's come from Boyd Muntz. He's hit a left foot strike. To see this save, and Walton throws himself away to his left and gets it over the crossbar around the post, and that's a really good strike from Boyd Muntz.
Yeah, Derek saying, Chick, just fell off my chair laughing at wee Chico on Craig Gordon. I remember Chick's farewell and retirement more than 5 years ago at the hotel across the road. How many times have you retired?
Oh, great challenge.
I've never retired.
What a brilliant challenge this is.
People to retire me.
You have never retired, and you will never retire, I don't think.
What? See, you were talking about Lee Miller and how he's advised his son so well. It's amazing that Lewis made it to the top.
So down to Bill McMurdo.
That is a good comeback, Chick. What's happening in the game there?
It continues to be thrilling and entertaining in another world, in a parallel universe. It's still 1-0 to Dunfermline. It brightened up a bit towards the half-time whistle, but it's gone back to being
the visitors have scored!
Right.
Oh my goodness, it's the first attempt on target. Yeah, I'm going to see the clever free kick. Stamatolopoulos starts inside They brought him at the penalty spot with the rest of them. He makes a run into the space. It's a perfectly weighted pass by Lennon Miller, and he absolutely leathers it into the roof of the net. It's a wonderful finish. Joe Bursick, I mean, you could have took him off at half-time. He had nothing to do in the first half. And now Stamatolopoulos was brought in to score goals. He was brought in to replace Theo Bair, and he, probably against the run of play, certainly against the run of opportunities created, has given Motherwell the lead. Hibs 0, Motherwell 1.
Yeah, it's definitely against the run of play. Tell you what, it's an unbelievable finish, but the goalkeeper getting beat at that narrow angle is going to be one that I don't think he'll enjoy watching it back.
Craigs, you had Feed the Bear last year. This is going to be a tough one for you. I'm trying to think of something that reminds you of Stamatolopoulos. I'm not too sure what it is yet. I'll be back to you, don't worry.
He scored a lot of goals in Australia last season. Stamatolopoulos.
He did, yeah. And I think he's been called into the Australian national squad, hasn't he? He's been in the squad this week. So that's a huge goal, because when you change countries and you go in and you come with a little bit of money being spent on you, particularly a club like Motherwell, you want to get off the mark, Tom. So he's been missing with injury, and he's now off the mark. Bursick may have helped him. You're right, Leanne. I think he goes down awful low. I don't know why the goalkeeper goes low at the near post, whereas if he stays up, he possibly gets a hand on it. But I have to say, put some power behind it.
And always worth a mention, Stephen, a decent travelling support through there at Easter Road.
Do you know what, Kenny, there is? And, you know, this has not been a happy hunting ground over the past, 10 or 11 games. I've had the odd draw and the odd win here and there, but certainly the fans are enjoying themselves. I mean, I covered the League Cup quarter-final against Dundee United, and there was over 6,500 Motherwell fans. So there's an appetite they're trying to galvanise and bring the community together. So winning games and scoring goals like that certainly helps. But yeah, great travelling support.
Yeah, they're going very nicely under Stuart Kettlewell this season. Elsewhere, Kelty Hearts 4-1 up now at Queen of the South. Samuel Harding on 63 minutes. Arsenal equalised very quickly after falling behind at home to Southampton. It's one apiece there. Kai Havertz with a goal on 58 minutes. Let's get to Firhill. Let's hear from Gully Singh. Partick Thistle at home to Livingston. What's happening, Gully?
Yeah, Kenny, still 0-0 here between Partick and Livy. There was a great chance for Thistle there. Kyle Turner's cross. Brian Graham is in acres of space. He's just looking to feed his header into the top right-hand corner. Jerome Pryor was rooted to the spot. Graham put it just wide. Livy went close just after the 40, just after the 50.
Yeah, has it gone quiet? Sorry, the noise. It's Hibs have equalised. Paul McGinn, I think, is dispossessed. Just in front of the dugout. Junior Hornet gets the ball, drives into the box, squares up Liam Gordon possibly, and feeds it into the bottom left-hand corner. That goal lead didn't last very long. It's 1-1.
Do you think they'll look at it, Craigs, as a potential foul? And McGinn, well, he hits the grass and stays down.
Is it a foul? You say, in lifetime, it was hard to kind of see.
Yeah, it might not be. We'll certainly look at it, that's for sure.
But what a response that would have been from Hibs if it doesn't count.
It's a couple of times though that Motherwell have been caught in possession. I would need to say, taking too much time. No, it doesn't. No.
They are checking, it says on the big. It's actually Stephen O'Donnell, isn't it? I thought it was Paul McGinn. It's Stephen O'Donnell. Yeah, he just nicks the ball off him. He takes the ball. He takes a heavy touch and allows Junior Hoylett to come in and take it off him. And then he goes in and slides it into the bottom corner. Goal stands 1-1.
It's also 1-1 between Clyde and Spartans. Martin Rennie with the equaliser for the home side just past the hour mark. And Queen's Park have gone ahead at home to Hamilton Accies Jack Turner on 62 minutes. Let's get back to the Falkirk Stadium. What a season it's been for John McGlynn and his players, and it sounds as if they are thoroughly in control today, Amy.
We absolutely are, Kenny. There's just a wee stoppage in play actually right now. I think it's Sean Mackey who's down, just receiving a little bit of treatment, and my goodness, Scott Brown need to get his players in, because they are absolute. It's ridiculous how up against it they've been actually. Honestly, Falkirk have been just such a joy to watch. And then when Ayr are hitting on the counter, it's the final ball, the final product is awful. It's really, really poor. It was so disappointed. There's no potency at all. Heard that across the show quite a lot today, but they are getting balls into the box and then it's just absolutely nothing and no one, and it couldn't be any different for Falkirk. Ethan Ross, an absolute pleasure to see today. Calvin Miller as well, Aidan Nisbet, a lot of young Scottish guys who, you know, came through systems like at Celtic and whatnot and not quite made it, but they're thriving in this sort of setup. And I know Biscuits and I spoke about Dylan Tate as well over the last 18 months or so. He's been an absolute pleasure as well today, along with Keelan Adams. Like, just throughout the side, it's probably unfair to mention any names, but Falkirk are flying.
Yep.
Oh, Motherwell should be ahead. Oh, it's a cross, a free kick into the 18-yard box. Liam Gordon wins the header. I think it's Tom Sparrow possibly that goes in, or Stamatolopoulos. clashes with Bursik. The ball breaks to Zach Robinson. He's got an open goal.
Got to score.
And
He's got to score.
somehow puts it past the post. Wow, what a 5 or 6 minutes. I did say once we get the first goal, this game will open up, and it certainly has. Still 1-1.
Sounds a bit dull and Paisley, Billy Dodds.
And listen, you've said it, what they're going to do about it. Kilty's now on the pitch with Dewey off, and James Scott's on for Kevin Van Veen. There's an interested spectator to my left. It's Simo Valakari, the new St Johnstone manager. He's here with Gus McPherson having a look at these two teams.
He's not taking over till Monday.
What do you think about that, Alan? I heard you speaking on the radio this morning. Surely he takes charge of that game tomorrow night.
You would think so. He's got to be in the changing room. I think, was it Van Bronckhorst done the same?
He did. That's right.
Bizarre. Just bizarre. You're named the manager. You've got to take the results that come your way. Yeah, you maybe don't want to go to Ibrox, but you're going to have to go at some point. You're the manager of the football club. I don't get it.
Does make sense.
No, it doesn't. Derek Ferguson very much liked your response to his message. Chick Young, what's happening in your game there?
Neil, an equaliser for Airdrie, actually. Corner on the right-hand side, swung in. Adam Frizzell gets it in, and it's a header just over the crossbar by Aiken at the back, just getting the header. Sorry, Ken, I was getting distracted by things going on here. It's Airdrie getting themselves back into this game a little bit. They made a couple of switches off the bench. It's given them a new impetus, I have to say. But we're talking about the quality of football. Plastic pitches, discuss.
I can't think anyone's in. I mean, it's a different game, isn't it, Alan?
Yeah, completely. It's a non-contact sport. Not for me, Chick, not at all. Non-contact,
no, I agree with you. And I can understand down the divisions, but in our top league, I know we've done this conversation time and time again, but it's a different game. Yeah. In this one, Airdrie, there's so many of these rubber pellets. You can see them firing up. The ball rolls differently.
It's one of the better ones as well, Chick.
When English teams get promoted into the Football League, they've got to do away with them. Sutton United it was, I think it was recently, to get
it also looks terrible when you see it in the telly, doesn't it? It just looks like poor. Guys, just hold on 1 second. We're covering one game in League One today. Are both at home to Inverness Cardiff. So there's been a goal, Martin Dowden.
There has. It's a goal for Arbroath. Arbroath 1, Inverness Caledonian Thistle nil. We were screaming out for a little bit of quality in this second half. It's been absolutely no chances, but Gavin Riley got the ball, a nice move. He was round about 20 yards out, and he just measured it up, curled a beauty right into the corner, past the goalkeeper, and no, Inverness just hit the post. Gavin Riley toe poking the ball from about 8 yards. He had the keeper beaten, nearly an equaliser straight away from Inverness, who don't have their troubles to seek at all. It's Arbroath 1, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0.
Yeah, we're getting Inverness Caledonian Thistle fan joining us late in the programme. I just want to ask him about what the club means to him, how big a part it plays in his life, and how things could change. Let's hope they don't, if things don't work out the way we all hope they will do. Kelty Hearts 5-1 up now away at Queen of the South. Scott Williamson with the goal on 70 minutes.
Just an update on Angus Gunn. The club say Angus jumped to take the ball and took a knock in the ribs. He was in some discomfort and was unable to come out for the second half. It's too early to say if we'll be able to go away with Scotland. We'll know more once he has had a scan.
Right, OK, we'll keep you updated on that. Leanne, I know you've spoken before in the programme about plastic pitches and just how difficult it is for the players on there.
It is, it's difficult. I mean, teams that are on it all the time manage to adapt and certainly get used to it. It becomes an advantage. I say it all the time, the women's game, it's all you ever play on. It comes to the point that actually players struggle to adjust to playing on grass. That's the reality.
More injuries?
More injuries? Potentially, yeah,
right.
Potentially. I don't know how much data there is to support that, but I know there's been a lot of studies certainly around ACL injuries and female players and stuff that they're certainly looking at those types of links. But for the top flight of any league, I would love for there to be grass just across the board. I think it's a much better product.
Well, we're going to that, Leanne, aren't we?
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah, it's very welcome. Arsenal now 2-1 up. They've come from behind. Martinelli with the goal on 68 minutes, 2-1 at home at Southampton. Yes.
Looking for a bit of quality. I don't know if you saw it, but St Mirren should be ahead. It's a corner kick. It comes to the back post. I think it's James Scott. The substitute just wins it, knocks it back into the box. And this time, it's Olasanya's turn to somehow. He should score. He's 4 yards out. He knocks it over the crossbar.
Yeah, just looking at that, actually, going back to the Championship, Chick talking about Airdrie there, it's incredible the turnaround 4 points.
Kenny, I'm going to say something to you because I was just thinking that myself. You look at all the managers that were hot topics last year: Chris Doolan, Dougie Emery, Rhys McCabe, Ian Murray. Ian's now out of job. Rhys is bottom of the league. Dougie Emery's struggling. Chris Doolan's not hitting the heights of what they would have wanted. It's amazing how quickly football changes.
It's a great point, Alan. I was actually going to bring you in on the point that Amy was talking about the recruitment with John McGlynn at Falkirk. It's a guy that knows players, that knows the league, knows what he had to get done, who he could bring in, who he could rely on. His recruitment's been top drawer, hasn't it?
Well, as I said earlier, there's not a lot of difference between the League One and the Championship. John, what he done was he made sure all these players that got him up, that he wanted to keep, he signed. Within, I phoned John a week after the season was finished, and he says, I'm done. I've signed everybody I need to. He got it all done in really quickly. He said, if I can get a bit more money, obviously with the cup tie against Celtic, he didn't. So he's getting a bit more money for that to spend. But he had 99% of the squad done 5 days, 6 days after the season ended. And that's good management. It really is.
Dividends, hasn't it?
It has. It's been brilliant. He knows what he's getting. They've got a real willingness to battle away. As I said, 43 games they went before they lost to Raith Rovers last week. A brilliant record for John. He's
but he didn't add.
Manager.
I'm saying, Alan, they didn't add an awful lot though.
I think he only added 2 or 3.
Yeah, that squad he had in League One, I'd said last year, was more than capable of competing in the top half of the Championship. When you look at the likes of Brad Spencer, oh, flags up offside. Oh, the wee rascal. Oh, I thought he was on. Whoa, he's a super sub. Every time he comes on, he scores.
Did they score?
Well, he has,
offside,
but the flag's up for offside. Yeah. I mean, the ball hangs in the air for quite a lot. For quite a long time. It's from a long throw.
I think he's wrong side.
The ball is flicked on. Does he get himself back onside? He doesn't know. I just had a little look at it there. I think he is just offside. But I'll tell you, this game's came alive. Both sides are really going after it. There's lots of more activity. Hibs have made subs. Motherwell have brought on Moses Abai, and they brought on Tony Watt, freshen up the front two, and they've really brought him to life.
Back to Falkirk.
Yeah, on you go, Dodgy.
The business model runs in tangent with the manager, doesn't it? You can't always say that was the case at Falkirk. You know, they had the troubles over the years, changing chairwomen, chairman, and then it was supporters. I mean, it was incredible for a while, but they have the right manager and the right business plan behind. It always helps.
Of course it does.
It was a worry because John was saying to me halfway through last season, if they don't get promoted, they could be going part-time. It's as simple as that, you know. And so that's the fine lines. And then when you look at up the road at Inverness, what's happening to them a number of years ago in the Premier League, winning the Scottish Cup, etc.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because Billy, we heard from Duncan Ferguson earlier on. We've got an Inverness fan later in the programme. Mark was bringing us up to date on things. I mean,
it's sad, Kenny.
Does it come as any surprise to you, Billy, given you were in the building?
My in-laws are huge Inverness fans, and sad for the fans. Great bunch of fans as well.
Yeah.
The business model wasn't right. They struggled. Scott Gardner, it's down to him. He's got to take it in the chin. He was poor business-wise. Absolutely hopeless football-wise, I'm telling you right now. So
yeah, I mean, he'd probably say definitely got to be fair.
I'm not. Yeah. I really can come on and say what he wants, but I'm telling you that's the way it was, and it's just that I'm not surprised with where they are. And sometimes you've just got to realise. Look at the cup final money. Where has that gone?
What's that figure you talked? Did you have any idea, Billy, what you're talking about there?
That was 800 grand to £1 million, and that was gone quite quickly. And then you see the losses they're posting. It's just unbelievable. But I kind of knew it was going on behind the scenes, and I had to separate the business side from the football side to keep the boys on track mentally and focused.
They weren't paying the players silly money or anything, were they?
No, not at all. Not at all. No. It was an okay budget. Not the best, not the worst in the league, and that's where it was. But some of the business decisions.
You'll know yourself, they had a big outlay for accommodation up there, a big outlay. Because every player, most of them get their accommodation paid for by the club.
The ones who come up there. Yeah, that's
a lot of money.
It was, but it wasn't the worst business decision. There was, Al, there's so many. There's so many, and you don't get into that situation not unless the business decisions are poor. Let's cut to the chase.
Yes, I still honestly, in hindsight, and I know Inverness fans, no. I think the Kelty thing wasn't a bad idea.
Goal! United have scored. It came to the edge of the box again. It comes from a corner kick. It's headed out. Ross Doherty hits it. The goalkeeper saves it, and it's Adi Boyega. This time 6 yards out. Finds the net from a header. It's St Mirren 0, Dundee United 1.
What is the goalie doing, Billy? He literally parries that back
Doherty
into the
catches it, doesn't he, quite sweetly, but it's straight at him. He's got to palm it away from goal.
It's almost like he parries it thinking he's going to get a second bite at it. He just puts it right back into the path of the Dundee United players.
Yeah.
I'll get another look at it. It was a good strike initially for outside the box, you're right, but I just think he needs to do better.
We've got a United fan joining us later. I know he's at the game today. Very interesting to see what he thinks. I know he's on the programme last season and he was one of many United fans that were expressing concerns about Jim Gooden. Was he the right man for the job? It was a bit of a struggle at times in the Championship, no doubt at all. They've done very, very well. We touched on this at the beginning of the programme on the return to the top flight, but the keeper, Leanne, my goodness, I've just seen a replay.
He maybe catches it late in terms of just having full sight of it, but I still think he can do better, even if the ball goes up for him to then go and have a second bite at it to try and punch or gather. But
he looks to be a good signing as well, didn't he? I saw him in a pre-season friendly. Went down to watch a game down at Morton one night. He was excellent that night, and a lot of St Mirren fans said we've done well with goalkeeper recruitment.
Yeah,
but
he could have done better.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a big goal for Dundee United. Mentioned their unbeaten away form in the start of the Premiership season, and they go ahead.
Derek McInnes, Alan, looking fairly frustrated in the touchline there.
Yeah, it's been difficult for him. You know, the referee's not the flavour of the month here, as you can imagine, at Dens Park. But Dundee have defended very well. They've made changes. They've brought on Palmer Holden, Scott Fraser. They've taken off Simon Murray, Curtis Main. So Tony Docherty's trying to hang in there, and they're doing very well. You wouldn't think they're down to 10 men at the moment. Kilmarnock are not dominating this game. There was a smash just a couple of minutes ago. McCrory managed to eventually get his hands on the ball, but it's still 1-0 to Dundee.
Yeah, breakaway from Motherwell there, Kenny.
Yep.
It was a corner from Hibs. They've been putting a little bit of pressure on. Motherwell broke away. Lennon Miller just strayed offside. He was trying to stay on, but the timing of the pass was just delayed a little bit.
Goal!
It was blocked in the end.
Yeah, goal.
It's an equaliser for Airdrie. Ball's just been nodded in at the far side of the far post. I think it's been knocked over the line. I'll just check that in a second with you, Kennedy. Numbers on these Airdrie trips and over the far side. It was definitely a goal. Played, whipped in from the right hand side. Ball's knocked into the net. And it is an equaliser. I'll confirm the score within a couple of seconds. 1-1.
Yeah, they certainly need it, no doubt at all about that. Rhys McCabe's side. So in the Premiership this afternoon, Dundee 1, Kilmarnock 0. Dundee down to 10 men. Silla sent off just before the break. Very harsh, according to our pundits. Hibs 1, Motherwell 1. The game has come alive in the second half. St Mirren 0, Dundee United 1. They've just gone ahead there. Adebayoga on 75 minutes into the Championship this afternoon. Airdrie have just equalised 1 apiece at home to Dunfermline. Falkirk 2, cruising 0 up at home to Ayr United. Morton 2, Wraith Rovers 0, Partick Thistle 0, Livingston 0, Queen's Park 1, Hamilton Accies 0 in League 1 this afternoon. The latest scores for you: Alloa 0, Cove 2, Alloa down to 10 men, and Athletic 1, Montrose 0, Arbroath 1, Inverness, Cardiff Thistle 0. A really tough time on and off the park for the Highlanders today. They are, a game, Arbroath were struggling to start the season, albeit they have been in decent form in recent weeks. We heard from Duncan Ferguson before the game. Very tough times for them. We'll hear from an Inverness Cardiff Thistle fan from 5:30. Dumbarton 1, Stenhousemuir 2, Dumbarton down to 10 men. Queen of the South 1, Kelty Hearts 5 in League 2. Clyde 1, Spartans 1, East Fife 3, Bonnier Groves 0, Bonnier Groves down to 10 men. Edinburgh City 1, Stranraer 1, Peterhead 0, Elgin City 1, 10-man Stirling Albion 2, Forfar Athletic 1. And in England this afternoon, a lunchtime kick-off, that was Crystal Palace 0, Liverpool 1. Arsenal have come behind the Leeds Southampton by 2-1. Brentford 4, Wolves 2, Leicester City 1, Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 2, Fulham 1, West Ham United 4, Ipswich 1. 5:30 start, Everton at home to Newcastle United. Let's get back round the ground, starting at Easter Road. On you go, check. Yep.
Yeah, just to say, Mason Hancock was the goal scorer. A cheeky little head at the far post. Mason Hancock makes it 1-1.
And Kenny, just let me tell you that I've been alerted that Simo Valakari needs a work permit, so cannot take charge of St Johnstone
Listen,
tomorrow,
that's good.
even if he wanted.
Yeah, good to get that clarity. Thanks to Alan Preston. Actually, we'll start with you, Alan. What's happening in your game?
A lot of changes from Kilmarnock as well. They've won the changes. Gary Mackay-Stevens has just come on. Bruce Anderson's on. Mackenzie's on. They're piling men forward, but not really creating much in the second half. It's been relatively easy, and they say that Dundee are on the attack. Is that a shout for a penalty there? A real shout. Tony Docherty's fuming. Once again, it's a pillar on the far side, but the keeper comes out. Down he goes, the player. Let me see who it is. Eddie Rumi goes over. They want a penalty. You'll be able to have a look at it, Leanne, over the far side.
Yeah, I don't know if it looked to be much in it. Coming together with the goalkeeper, get a better angle right enough just to see how much contact there actually was, but I think he's looking for it, if I'm being honest. play's just gone on. Will be a couple of minutes before we see anything in here, Alan.
Right, we'll keep you updated on that. Let's get to Easter Road. What's happening, Stephen?
Yeah, there was a bit of an appeal there from Motherwell for a handball. The ball has just gone out of play now, so it was probably in play for a minute and a half after. It hasn't been looked at. It was an in-swinging corner, and it bounced just before Marvin Ekpiteta, and it looked as if from behind here that his arm had went up a little bit. Whether it hit his arm or hit his side, I'm not so sure. VAR obviously had looked at it and moved it on, but it's really now on edge because Hibs are looking good, Motherwell are looking good. It's a proper game of football now, Kenny. Really enjoying it. Both teams sense there's something there for them.
Definitely no penalty there.
No.
Just get another look at that. No contact.
Right, OK, let's get to Billy Dodge. United with the advantage there. Saints disappointing this afternoon, Billy.
He's off.
Yeah, they
He's
have
off.
been.
Oh, right, minute.
Go on.
Sending off. Triantis. He get booked for diving in the first half for looking for a penalty kick. Tony Watts just skipped around him midway through. Midway inside the Hibs half, and he's lunged in to try and win it. He hadn't get anywhere near the ball, and he's brought Tony Watt down. It was a clear yellow card. Why is he making a tackle when he knows he's on a yellow? Hibs are down to 10.
He's not really going anywhere either, that's the thing. Tony Watt does well, as you described, Craigs, but a silly challenge. And it's fine to go with the left boot, but he comes through and almost, it's like a scissor motion with the right leg as well. The referees don't ever really like that type of challenge.
I'm guessing it's going down as stopping a promising attack. Whether you pull the jersey, you bring him down by the legs. Tony Watt was away.
Just a poor challenge. I think, as I say, I think just the scissor motion, it's like leaving the ground now. They're just not any. They've got no time for them, the referees.
Billy, talk to us about St Mirren fans. St Mirren fans will be tuned in. Talk to us about the side this afternoon. What have been the problems?
Just not creating enough, relying on long throws. They're quite a physical team, as you know, but they can play as well, and they've now got a lot of flair players on. Kiltie on, Beaumont on, Mandaron just getting chucked on, Olasanya still on the pitch, but not really created enough. They had a couple of chances after Dundee United scored, but again not hitting target. It's United on the break, but they are chucking players at it now. I'm not saying that they're putting United under pressure, but not done enough in the game to be in front or even be level, Kenny.
Yeah, something happened. Was it you, Alan?
It's cute. The Dundee right back gets hit in the stomach with the ball, goes out for a corner. He goes off the pitch, then he rolls back on. Lovely.
Manchester City 3, Fulham 1. Jeremy Doku with a goal in 82 minutes. Yeah, nothing in that one at all there. Let's get back round the Championship grounds. Let's get to Amy Canavan. She is watching Falkirk against Ayr. We'll just get to Ayr there in a second. Ayr United away to Falkirk. I'll get to Amy in just a minute. Let's get to Gully Singh. Gully, you're at Firhill. Partick Thistle against Livingston.
Hi Kenny, yes, it's still 0-0 here between Partick and Livy. There's been a few chances on the last 5 minutes. A real chance for Livy. Christian Montano put it back.
Post!
Yes, Al.
Oh, it's a brilliant effort, it really is. It's from Bruce Anderson. It's knocked back in. It's a long corner, goes over the top of the back. It's knocked back in, and it's Bruce Anderson with a half volley in the middle of the goal. Cannons off the inside of the post and away.
Yeah, let's get back to Gully there at Firhill. Is there a bit of frustration among the home fans, Gully?
Yeah, there is plenty of frustration. Thistle on the front foot at the moment there.
Goal!
Right, where?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what a long throw from Kofi Bammer. I mean, I had a long throw, but this is absolutely fizzed in better than a cross. It misses everyone out. And I think it's Andy Halliday, the ex-Jambo, just cushions it in. I mean, when somebody's side-footing the ball into the net from 3 yards out from a long throw, you clearly haven't defended it very well. I think is it Jordan Obita at the back. Actually, it's Kwon, I think, who's completely the wrong side. Andy Halliday with a nice little celebration. Wow.
Has he
Down
just
to 10
produced?
men and 2-1 the Motherwell.
Has he just produced the Alfredo Morelos celebration?
Is that
what's just happened?
Is that what it's called?
That's what Morelos used to do, the knee slide, and then he would point to the grass in front of the
fans. He
fans.
scored 2 goals in a derby.
Did he? So was it the Andy Halliday celebration before it was Morelos? Tell you what a throw, Craigs. Brilliant,
honestly,
right into the heart of the 6-yard box. He goes in.
He's through into the middle of the 6-yard box.
David Gray is going to be furious today. 2 set pieces have undone them. You can talk about positive signs and your side deserving a bit more.
He's done it! Oh, he has done it! What a goal that is! It's a long kick, and it's just belted over the top, and the substitute Edewumi is onto it. The keeper is in no man's land, and he just lifts it over McCrory into the back of the net. What a brilliant finish. And I've got to say, Dundee deserve that. The way they've played this afternoon, the way they've defended, The way they've attacked as well at times, and that is a wonderful finish. Such composure.
Maybe a real delight as well for Tony Docherty, Leanne, after the harshness of that red card shown in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a big goal. He does really well. As Alan says, the goalkeeper's in no man's land. I'm just waiting to get another run through it, just in terms of the distance that the ball travels. But he does well. It's a neat finish.
So just confirmation coming through. Andy Halliday with that goal for Motherwell, 2-1 up away at Hibs. That goal on the 80th minute. Also in the 80th minute, Matthew Aitken has scored for Stennismuir. They are 3-1 up away at Dumbarton. I mean, I know I keep going back to this, and I keep getting told it's early days, and it is. But Kilmarnock at the moment, Tom, they just look a team that are really struggling.
Well, they are really struggling, and this will, if they, they're 2-0 down against 10 men here, and this will be 1 win in 14. So this is not, we could say, oh, it's early season, but they're stuck in a rut right now, and they're trying desperately to get out of it, but they can't get out of it. This is a shocker of a performance, and if it stays this way, this is a desperate day for Derek McInnes.
Yeah.
Do they just look really short in confidence, Alan? And what is that? What it is?
Not creating. When you look the likes of, obviously you've got the players have got in the wider areas for them as Armstrong and Kennedy. They've not really got on the ball today. Vassell has not had much to go on. Neither has Mally Watkins. They've brought Anderson on. He's just hit the post. So they're just not creating, and that'll be an alarming thing for Derek, because when they're on the front foot, Armstrong's involved, Kennedy's involved, Vassell's always a handful. That's not been the case today at all for them, I'm afraid.
United, good value for their lead in Paisley, Billy?
Yes, but it has been a tight game, and they've taken the one. It's not a real chance because there was a few opportunities, but they've taken one of the chances, and that's the main thing. And it summed up St Mirren a few minutes ago. They were on a break. Kilty was away on the right hand side. They had Guimono at the back post, and he just hit the cross out the pitch. So it's just not happened for St Mirren. They made sub after sub to try and change things, and they don't look any different, Kenny.
Right, let's get back to, I think we were speaking to Amy earlier on, Falkirk against Ayr United. What's happening, Amy?
It's still just all Falkirk, Kenny. Brad Spencer there just with an effort that I think actually ended up taking a wee sort of fingertip off Liam Russell, because my goodness, it's just relentless pressure here from Falkirk. They're absolutely outstanding. Ayr United, the greatest thing for them right now is they've just seen Ethan Ross and Calvin Miller, who have been terrorising them, both go off, and it was a full round of applause here from the Falkirk Stadium. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but they haven't been at home since August, so my goodness, the Falkirk fans have been delighted to get back here, and what a show they've had put on by their side today.
Surely! Offside,
totally
flags
dominant.
up, Bob's in the back of the net. It's a cut back. Vassell hits it, takes a wicked deflection, falls into Mally Watkins. He's offside, and the initial shot goes in. He smashes it into the back of the net. Flags up. Check.
Right, we'll wait and get a wee.
Yeah,
so the initial shot for Vassell.
Looks offside.
East Fife 4, Bonnier Rose 0. An own goal from Tom Ritchie on 86 minutes. Fulham have pulled a goal back late on away at Manchester City. It's 3-2 now. Muniz with a goal on 88 minutes. Stephen, if you're writing a scouting report on Hibs, how would you describe the style of play, the weaknesses in the side at the moment?
Well, I think the weakness, Kenny, in the first 15 minutes was that they didn't take the chances. They had 4 or 5 really good opportunities that if they score, the game takes a different direction, but they suddenly went behind set plays, is what Leanne's spoken about. I thought they got away from making individual errors and being easy to play against and having a soft centre, but they haven't. They've conceded 2 goals from set plays. It'll be hugely disappointing for them. And now they find them almost 3-1. It's got to be 3-1 now. Tom Sparrow, no, they managed to get it away. And then right after half time, Chris Cadden had a great chance, 0-0, 1v1, isn't taken. Suddenly Motherwell take the lead. They get back to 1-1 and you think, right, what have you got? And then Triantis gets sent off. Motherwell have galvanised themselves. So Hibs need a cutting edge at the top end of the pitch. They need to score the goals.
Yeah, it is a goal, yeah. Sure it is. He's gone. I'm just trying to see who's put it in. It's a shot initially from Kennedy. It squirms under the keeper. Bad goalkeeper. And I don't know if Vassell knocks it in or not. You'll be able to tell me. Kilmarnock are back in this game. It's 2-1 now, and we have still got 9 minutes to go here, plus whatever's added on.
Kennedy does well, Alan. I'm just waiting for the replay, as you describe again, whether it's been under the goalkeeper or Vassell's got a wee touch on it. He ends up in the back of the net himself. Vassell, but it's a lifeline if it stands.
6 minutes added on here at Paisley. That's how long someone have got to try and claw at least a point out this game.
What have you made of United, Dodgy?
Not brilliant, but efficient. Defended well, took the chance, created a couple within the game, but I wouldn't say they've played brilliantly and got the ball down, knocked it about and created a few opportunities, get into good areas. But they've done enough, and they took the all-important chance. But as Leanne said, the goalkeeper should maybe have parried it away from goal. He parried it right into Malcolm's.
It's Kennedy's goal at Dennis.
Kennedy's goal.
Yes. Goalkeeper should do better. Gets a touch to it. Not enough. Goes under his arm into the back of the net.
Arsenal 3-1 up now at home to Southampton. Bukayo Saka with a goal in 88 minutes coming from behind.
And a scoreline from the Bundesliga. Union Berlin 2, Dortmund 1.
Must be some standard.
Just think I'll leave that there. Adeyemi was the only one, by the looks of it, by the quick scan, is the only one who's been rested.
Wow.
He picked up the injury, didn't he?
Aye.
I think they've got a bigger budget, so I'm just slightly bigger than Dortmund if we're going to talk budgets. Goal! Told you this game was not finished. 2-2 now.
No.
Bruce Anderson, brilliant play wide in the right. The ball's hung up the back. There's Bruce Anderson with a downward header. This game with these two clubs never ever disappoint.
They love it.
Brilliant. 2-2.
Love it.
No, Desmond.
This cannot end 2-2 again. Surely.
11v10 as well.
Yeah.
Yep, so still time, Alan, for a winner there.
That was a brilliant game. Said that.
Yep, gave it the big build-up. We're covering 3 games in the Championship this afternoon. We heard from Amy, who is covering the game at Falkirk. Also a game at Firhill this afternoon. Gully Singh is there for us. What's happening, Gully?
Yeah, Kenny, Livingston went so close there to finding the opener. Well, just in this last few minutes, it was Liam Soule on the end of a cross. He just hit it downwards, and it was a save for Miles Roberts. It's another corner for Livingston here. They look like the side that are going to find an opener if we're to get one in the last few minutes, but still 0-0 here at Firhill.
We're also at League One game at Gayfield this afternoon. Arbroath are home to Inverness Cali Thistle. What's happening, Martin? You there, Martin? Right, we can hear the atmosphere there. We can hear a lot of boos, I think it's fair to say, in that game. Really troubling times for Inverness. Cali Thistle will be joined by a Cali Thistle fan later in the programme, but they are 1-0 down to Arbroath. It looks as if Arbroath are just out of 10 men, Martin.
They are indeed. It's a red card being administered there as Inverness throw everybody up the pitch. It is Keith Watson who's gone up the tunnel deep into injury time here. Arbroath still leading 1-0 as Inverness try and salvage something from this, but it is Keith Watson who's gone off the park.
Right, OK, perhaps still time for Inverness Cali Thistle in that one. Still time in Paisley for the home side. Are they threatening, Billy?
Not really. It's hopeful. It's launch balls and then they got a flick on there. All the sand you got on the end it could only scoop it into the goalkeeper's arms, but they've not done enough. They've not created loads of chances in the game. The closest they probably came was Boyd Munn's strike that Walton had to push over the crossbar. They had a couple of other ones that the connection was wrong when they probably should have scored, but not enough from St Mirren.
East Fife 5, Bonnyrigg Rose 0. Andrew Todd in the 91st minute. Also 5 goals for Brentford. 5-2 they lead Wolves. Carvalho on the 90th minute. What's happening at Easter Road, Stephen?
Yeah, Hibs are trying to push forward, Ken. It's a little bit difficult because they've only got 10 men, so Motherwell are just sitting waiting to play on the counter-attack. Hibs are trying to force the issue. They've taken off Kuharovic and they've brought on Dwight Gale, and they've got Harry McCurdy, so they're going for pace in behind, but the Motherwell backline are not going to squeeze up and give them that pace to work in, so they're lacking that physical presence up the pitch. It's all about game management for Motherwell now. They put themselves in a really strong position. Don't make any mistakes.
Has been excellent, Stephen, hasn't he? Well, as you seen him a moment or so ago, just coming out, I think it was a header. Just reading the game really well.
Gully goalless there, 0-0.
Yeah, goalless here at Firhill, yeah, between Partick and Libby.
Right,
Six added on minutes at Dens, 2-2.
Thanks, Alan. Looks like a late winner for Stranraer away at Edinburgh City. Max Guthrie with the goal there in the 93rd minute. Edinburgh City 1, Stranraer 2. So, Alan, both sides pushing for the winner there?
No, it's all Kilmarnock now.
Yep.
They're shooting down the hill and they've got the impetus. They've got that late goal from Bruce Anderson to get them level again. It's been to be fair to Derek McInnes, he has thrown bodies on. He's got every striker, every wide player he's got in his books. Wales has come on, Mackay Stevens is on, Bruce Anderson's on, Watkins is still there. He's pushed everybody forward to try and win this game.
Right, they're pushing for a winner there. The away side, they have the man advantage in that game. Still seeing the pictures coming in from Paisley, Billy Dodds. This could be another really disappointing afternoon for the St Mirren fans.
Yeah, and Taylor again summed up in the last couple of minutes. He got a ball rolled out to him when they were in possession in a decent area, and he went to take a touch and took his eye off the ball, missed it and rolled out the pitch, and then he gets one there. He's in possession again and then just absolutely blooters it against Ross Docherty right in front of him. So as I said, not really getting anywhere and creating chances, although they got a chance of crossing it in here. Phillips has just tried to flick it on. There's not enough been created from St Mirren today, Kenny. Simple as that.
Yeah, plenty created by Falkirk this afternoon. As a result, a 2-0 victory at home to Ayr United. That's a final score. Also a final score at Gayfield. Arbroath 1, Inverness, Cally, Thistle 0. Real problems for the Highland side there. Let's get to Easter Road. What's happening there?
Full time, St Mirren, Kenny. It's St Mirren 0, Dundee United 1.
Thanks to Billy Dodds. What's happening, Stephen?
Well, it's been 6 minutes added on. We're now 2 minutes into that, and it's all kind of huff and puff from Hibs. They've lacked all kind of fluidity since they made the substitutions, and when they went down to 10 men, they've gone a 4-3-2. They're trying to put Motherwell under pressure, but that Motherwell back line are defending it well. You know, they didn't defend very well in the first half. They gave up far too many opportunities, but as a defender, when you've got something to hang on to, suddenly your concentration levels go up. You win every header, you're getting every second ball, clearances are going long. Hibs need the ball to be in play, but when it goes out, Motherwell just taking their time and just trying to see the game over the line. It'd be a huge result for them. I've had a look. There'd be an 8-point gap if it stays the way it is after 7 games, which is a real bonus for Motherwell when you consider their aim always at the start of the season, first of all, is to be a Premiership club at the end of it. So it's been a really good start, really impressive.
Still the away side in the attack at Dens.
It is, yeah, and we've still got over 3 minutes to go here. It's all Kilmarnock. What a difference in the last 5-10 minutes of this match. We're saying they've not gotten a cross in, now it's crosses galore. Gary Mackay-Stevens has come on and made a right difference for them. He set up that equalising goal. He's just flashed another cross in as well. They want to try and get the ball out to him as much as they can. So we've got 3 minutes still to go here at Dens, 2-2.
Right, thank you to Alan Preston there. We'll bring you the classified results. We will also hear from some managers. We'll get some fan reaction. And Tom, just a wee reminder, the point you were making earlier on, I think we'll make some reaction to that on our WhatsApp line. You can send us a voice note, 08085 92 95 00. Do you agree with Tom English's views on Scottish football?
They've won it! They've only gone and won it! Unbelievable! It's Kennedy, it's Watkins to the byline. He cuts it back. And there's Kennedy from about 4 yards out, middle of the goal, tapping. What a comeback. What were you saying about Derek McInnes?
I'm waiting to see the pictures. I'm waiting to see the screen pan to him, actually. I can only imagine.
Absolutely. What a comeback that is. You're talking 5 minutes before the end of the game. They're 2-0 down. They've turned this completely around now. Brilliant from Kilmarnock.
It's incredible. Can you see? I can see him now in the pit. He's actually quite calm. Isn't
yeah,
he?
He's very calm. Of course he is. Yeah.
Tony Docherty, given the Silla situation, is going to go.
He's not going to be pleased, Tom, is he?
Clear after this.
Yeah.
No, brilliant comeback from Kelly up against 10 men, but a brilliant comeback. Lot of character, fair play, and Derek McInnes has that win. He's, by the looks of it, he's desperately needing.
He's going to be looking at this goal. I mean, from a Dundee perspective, defensively, not sure who that is. It was in the left back position, Alan. The ball looks like it was going to play.
Is it?
It could be actually Lyle
90
Cameron, but anyway, he goes to clear the ball and literally just hits it clean up in the air, and it comes down, and that's where Kelly picked the ball up.
86,
88, 94.
94. Wow, that is incredible. You're from both managers, as Tom said.
Then that's Tony Dock, 1 win. If it stays like this, 1 win as well this season. This will be Kilmarnock's first one.
And he's going to be fizzing. He's going to be absolutely fizzing given that decision in the first half.
100%, and rightly so, because for what you're telling me, I'm over 100 yards away from it. It's over the far side, but to me it didn't look like a second yellow, and he'll be absolutely raging, because at that point they were 1-0 up and cruising.
Well, we said before a ball was kicked today about Dundee's the goals that they're conceding. Now I know they're down to 10 and it's unjust, but it's another game where they've scored 3 goals. It's 14 goals conceded now in the last 5 games.
But it's also just a bit of naivety there, Tom. Yeah. Just see the ball out of play and just reorganise. You know, you've gone from a position of winning 2-0, it's now 2-2, 6 minutes added on.
Yeah, and it's everything as well, though, that obviously Silla's been sent off harshly. I think we all agree on that. But equally, the goal that gets Kilmarnock back in it, the keeper's got to save it.
Yeah.
That's dreadful goalkeeping.
It's individual errors.
I think he's called it in the national team. Guns out. McCracken's called in. He's done great for Dundee, but that should be saved.
Oh, fabulous. What a striker run. Adam Frizzell.
You were up in there.
Oh, I tell you what. I just felt that Airdrie were going to win this in the last minute. It was fantastic running strike from Adam Frizzell. Just scraped the top of the bar. I thought Airdrie had snatched it right.
Full time at Dens, 3-2.
Thanks. To be honest,
is it? Hold on.
Is it?
That's full time at Easter Road. Hibs 1-2.
No,
he's pointed to the by kick.
Right, so still playing there.
Yeah,
full
we're
time
well
at
over
Easter
time
Road.
now, though.
Great win for Motherwell. Stephen was saying, sorry, I apologize, I forgot your game was delayed there, so you're still playing.
It is now. The ball doesn't come back and play, and he blows up now. I don't get the referee here. Madness. Anyway, Kilmarnock won 3-2.
Big win. Big win there. 3 late goals for Derek McInnes's side. We can see him in the touchline now. A very brief handshake, not much of a look there between the two managers at Dens Park. And Chick, you're still playing?
Yeah, did you think I just killed over there, Kenny?
I wasn't sure. Apologies, I forgot you were late starting there. Sorry.
Yeah, the 90 have now come and gone. We're into time added on. It was a fantastic strike, as I said, by Frizzell. And now at the other end, it's a free kick to Dunfermline. They have the chance maybe to grab something right at the end of this match, put into the area. The goalkeeper lets it go. It will be a by kick, and it does look as if this is going to fizzle out, not Frizzell out, to be a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, we shall see.
Big win for Motherwell.
Yeah, that is huge, isn't it?
Massive.
I mean, I spoke to Stuart Kettlewell a few weeks ago, and he was having injury issues at that point, Leanne, but he was very confident with the side he's put together. Stephen was saying there he's been backed. He's been able to bring certainly attacking players in, and it's paid off. Terrific.
It has, yeah, and they had to work hard for it this afternoon as well. A couple of mistakes. I don't think he'll be pleased with the overall performance, Stuart Kettlewell. I think there was certain moments that could be tidied up, but ultimately 2 set plays, which is why there's the attention to detail, and Stuart Kettlewell's the type of manager he is, and will certainly lean on his staff for that type of support, because the first goal is straight off the training ground, and the second one with the long throw is clearly something that they've worked on as well. But I mentioned the likes of Andy Halliday at the top of the show. I think him getting a run of games in the Motherwell team, it's starting to pay off now, just in terms of the kind of player he is and the character. A bit of a leader in there as well. And he comes up with the winner today.
Just seen Derek McInnes.
Slapping it up,
he's got all the play. Oh, he's just doing a sort of fake wiping the sweat off the brow there. He's with his players, Alan, in front of the away support. We've got a Kilmarnock fan first. I'm not sure if he's at the game today, if he's in that stand behind the goal, but terrific entertainment again this afternoon.
These two sides are, honestly, when they play, and we're talking about Scottish football, might not be blessed with the most skillful, but certainly as far as entertainment's concerned, these two sides could play every week. It's been brilliant fair today, it really has. It'll be harsh on Dundee. Tony will be fuming, more importantly with the referee's decision to send Silla off, who will now lose for some games going forward. They had the game by the scruff of the neck, 2-0 up with just over 5 minutes of regulation time left, and they've lost the game. Incredible stuff.
Right, Tom, let's just get back to that, because we want to get fans getting in touch with the programme. 08085 92 95 00. Send us a voice note on WhatsApp. And I think a lot of people have... Listen, I'm thinking today, Dundee fans, they're going to be furious at the referee. Kilmarnock fans, is this the catalyst you needed today? Motherwell fans, let's hear from you. What a fantastic season so far. A semi-final to look forward to, and really romping it in the league, you'd have to say, compared to last season. Hibs fans, how concerned are you under David Gray? St Mirren fans, not a good start for you. Dundee United, a great return to the top flight. We'll just bring in Chick in a minute, Tom, but you were also sort of raising the point. The guys were discussing earlier, some of the guys don't agree with you in the programme. You were talking about you feel the lack of quality in Scottish football.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's particularly controversial to say that this, if you weigh everything up, that this is a poor standard. And we have moments where we have excellent players, and we have excellent goals, and we have good games, really good games sometimes. But I think the overall, over the piece, judging on this on last season and this season, I think the standard is poor. Right,
we're just about to head to the news. Chick, are you nearly at full time there?
Well, the 90 have come and gone long ago. We're way into time added on. There it goes, full time whistle. It does finish here at Airdrie 1. That goal from for Dunfermline scored the first half. Chris Kane, and equaliser from Mason Hancock. It's 1 each. No change at the bottom of the table between Dunfermline and Airdrie.
Good stuff. Thanks to Chick Young. All the post-match reaction to come on Sports, and we'll get around the grounds. We'll hear from the managers. I'm sure some of them will have some very strong things to say this afternoon. Of course, the fans now play a big part in this programme. We'll have fan reaction from 5:30. I can tell you, a real treat with the music tonight, a real character and some great songs. So stay tuned to Sports, and we're with you right through until 7 o'clock. Time now for the news on BBC Radio Scotland at 5:03. On digital radio.